most advanced of this magitech to be produced within the short time the gods had settled into Amaranth are the Skyrunners, levitating single-person vehicles or cargo transport in the form of cutters and rovers. But Gond and Mistra prepared to reveal a new technology. Rumors spread of a first large-scale Skyrunner being developed in the world's first commercial airship, the Stargazer, a technology that would change the face of the world forever. Welcome, travelers, to the Dragonleaf, the Teahouse where tales are told. Happy birthday, Jonah! Don't know if that'll ever be relevant, but there you go, shot in the dark, to all you Jonahs out there. Technology that could change the face of the world forever is for you. Happy birthday, buddy. If you like the content, leave a like in the tip jar and subscribe to our weekly tales. Leave a comment in the suggestion box to tell us how well we did or how well we did not. Thank you for listening. And without further ado, it's time to open up shop. Hello, everybody.
Hey, happy birthday, Jonah.
Happy birthday, Jonah.
It's a birthday roulette that is, because I don't fucking know when this episode's releasing, but if it lands on your birthday, holy shit, we need to buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah, happy birthday, Jonah.
In the past, how does that work, man?
They can just watch it on their birthday, and it's always.
That's true.
This is the YouTube equivalent of finding one of those keychains with your name on it.
Yes.
Yeah, but that never happens for me, and I have like a basic. I have like
right.
No, but I have like a basic white bitch name, like it's Tamara, Tamara. You think that it would be there, but it's not. It's like Tammy, and I'm like, I don't like Tammy. Please stop calling me Tammy.
Happy birthday, Tammy.
No.
This is in your instance where you were like, just keep the episode and watch it whenever. That's the YouTube equivalent of having that keychain, going with a friend to a dollar store and being like, oh, look what I found, bud. Just hiding it in your back pocket until it's relevant. Last time, the Deviants returned to Ashfall to give Lavos the synopsis of their current missions, receiving new missions for the family as they traverse the city. At the end of the season, a luncheon will be held, and a social gathering as a fantastic place to learn more about the gods. Lavos wishes for more positive relationships with other families, so that they might be able to see him less as an outcast, drown out the vote of those who would be enemies, and add more friends within the city, so that the more people who wish for this family to be involved can be. They found Selene, the drow cleric, and recruited her to their family, much to her surprise, and promised her vengeance against one who have wronged her in the past. Her ex-love.
Fuck that guy.
Precisely. They spoke with their, well, maybe. You don't know. They spoke with their new public enemy number one, a gnomish wizard of Mistress family named Joseph, who was to serve as the liaison to the family and show...
Hate that guy.
And with a show of restrained hostility, left with mixed feelings. And as a reward for their work in Ironhall, they received some magic items. As they all take their time in their own endeavors, Vincent earns some interest with Victor Valentine, and learns that Vanessa has seemingly been freed of her curse for the time being. Matilda visited her parents to offer her mother the yellow vial of strange drugs, and as they all joined back together, they entered into the dungeon once more. Traversing their way up to the third floor haven and preparing to kill the keeper of the black flame that stands guard over the northern city gates, we jump back in.
Oh no.
You all find yourselves back within the wooden halls of the faint second-story house. As you traverse through the city that you had previously reached within this area, rather than returning to the end at the fourth floor gate, you've decided to return to the haven. A brief 5 gold pieces, which Killian, you can deduct that from your character sheet, has been spent in reference to the materials and the time and the various different things that you needed to go through and methodically kill all of the creatures that you had previously killed up to this point. So, like, all of the way behind you is clear for the hour, and then you return to the haven fresh. As you look onwards towards the creature who still stands guard at the northern city gates, you find yourselves now here, where the front doorway has previously kind of like just looked and taken a glance outside towards the undying soldier that stands in your way. The rear one locked, and the previous banging of these strange, just skin sack undead that had previously been bombarding you guys is absent. I will also say that as you guys are traversing through, there was another creature that you had not fought down this way, quite a ways to the south, that just stood guard near a trash heap, the trash knight, as you all recall. And we jump back in now. What do you do?
As a quick just point of order, because I wasn't here the last session, I'd like to spend 500 gold before we had gone into the dungeon, or sorry, 50 gold before we had gone into the dungeon, to buy a platinum ring worth 50 gold pieces for our new party member.
Platinum ring is something that you could potentially buy at Cisco's, so you can get a little bit of a discount on that. But you will never get away with 50 gold for 50 gold, my friend. Not until you build those relationships up to a degree in which they don't want to fuck you. That is 55 gold, 6 silver.
All right.
And you have a platinum ring versus worth 50 gold.
Perfect.
Taxes. Yeah.
Yeah, I make sure that she has it before we enter the dungeon.
For Selene?
Yes.
Okay. Let me mark that on her sheet.
Killian asks for her hand in marriage. He's like, marry me.
She's like, I have some experiences with that. I'll pass for now.
Okay. So do we want to, I'm assuming we want to, like, me and Bladebeak will go in there and keep them back while you guys just hot chat from as far away as you can, right?
Sure.
So you're like a
Sounds good.
mid or back? Where do you normally fight?
I can smash faces, or I can wait back to heal those who also smash faces. So, middle, front.
Okay. You guys ready? Anything we need to do?
I can bless you all. One moment. Come here. She leans back and begins to draw some sigils in the air. And as she clutches, you see literally she has just a massive neck chain of various different holy symbols. And she just plants her hands across all of them. And then underneath, you can see this faint glow emerge outwards as 3 of you. So who is planning to run up front?
Jojo is.
Jojo is? Okay.
Killian is as well. She actually has pretty high AC.
You throw Bladebeak a bless as well. You all find this just divine energy pour over you for a brief moment, and sparks of inspiration begin to move into your mind. And Selene leans back and is just like, all right, here, tell you what. She kind of just steps forward towards the front of the door and begins to inch out.
Jojo also is going to grab a pinch of dirt, wave her hands in the air and do some arcane symbols and sort of like poof this dirt in her own face and cast Long Strider on herself.
Selene returns and says, doesn't seem like there's much I can see. Nothing on the roof. Just to our left. At least not immediately so. The knight seems to be standing on the far corner. In front of the gate.
You guys ready?
Ready.
Let's go! And Jojo
Yes.
rapid.
You guys turn. I'll stop you there for a brief moment.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I'll say. Roll dexterity.
Let's go, let's go.
Everybody?
Everybody.
Everybody in the room getting scared.
That's the best club beat. Everybody in the room getting scared. Social anxiety bringing me down.
Shake your hands
Freaking
up
me. How
in
does
the
it look?
air.
How's my hair? How's my hair? How's my feet? How's my dress? What am I doing? Why am I here? I'm leaving. I turn around and reach the door. 13 and 16. Alrighty. First off, as you guys begin to move, Killian and Jojo, Bladebeak, not necessarily lagging behind because as you and Bladebeak are riding valiantly, you guys move pretty much stride and stride. So we'll take that 13. You guys basically get a free round of movement from where you are currently. I will also place Bladebeak here, basically, and Killian, we will say that you are riding on Bladebeak. So you guys can get a free round of movement from where you are into the city square. And I will also say, Jojo, your passive perception is 13. This with the 14. Excellent. Matilda, I will put you there.
Thank you.
And in this instance, Paka moves over here and kind of just readies himself. But as Bianca's absent, she's chosen that Vincent will basically be out of this one instead of being turreted. So there's like 2 options for if you miss the encounter, basically, is that we can pull your character out, but if the party wipes, then all of you wipe. Or you can be there as a turret, and then you get your own separate death saves and stuff, in case you were targeted, etc. But as we jump back in now, you all get 1 free round of movement, and then we will roll initiative.
Okay.
Start with whoever's in the front, so Jojo.
Okay. Jojo currently has 50 feet of movement, so I don't know if I want her to go super far ahead, but you guys have a very long range, right? So where is this knight exactly?
As you run in, if you just jump 1 more forward.
Hey, there he is.
As they stand right at the edge of the city gate, as you just tumble your way into its line of sight, the head just turns and looks over towards you, and you see 2 black flames light from the inside of empty eye sockets. You see this massive knight standing in gold-plated armor rusted with age, and then just slowly brings up a pointed spear and points it towards you as a blue flag waves in the wind.
Okay, I think Jojo is gonna try and lure it to a line of fire for other people, so she's gonna just boop, boop. Go back over there and try and get it to turn the corner.
You hear the knight begin shuffling almost mindlessly. Selene also does a similar maneuver, but she actually just ducks down over here. Oh, she only has 30 feet. She's going to duck in right there next to you. Or maybe behind to allow people to get through. And she kind of just leans up against the side of this broken stone wall underneath a shale roof. It's like, did you all notice that there's some archers on the roof?
I thought we took care of those before.
There seems to be more.
Great.
Some directly across, standing a few, but looks like some kind of fucking rat people, I don't know. And there's some skeletons up above us.
Heads up, guys! Like, literally, like, up on the roof.
As Killian and Bladebeak stomp past you, just kind of, huh? Do we see them on the roof from where we are?
From where you are, you cannot tell.
Okay.
And Matilda, do you wish to move from where you are currently?
Yeah, I'll just like peek out the door. Do I see anyone on the roof anywhere? No.
As you begin to move out with your passive perception, you do hear the shuffling of a skeletal creature on the roof, but you cannot pinpoint its exact location. You ascertain it's probably somewhere within this radius. If you can see that.
I'll move here so I can keep sight of my friends. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of hang back.
Awesome. From where you are, the rooftop here, so you're aware, to you right now is 15 feet up, and to the rest of you, it's a good 25 to 30 feet up. The immediate roof above Selene and Jojo right now is only about 15 feet high, so it's just kind of shrouding over you and over top of this 10-foot cart right here. But that's a lot of information. So, as you guys begin to move in, Paka is kind of shadowing you, Matilda, and then sees you stop and is like, oh! Just backs up and kind of hides again underneath, and just keeps watching as we all roll initiative. Add you guys in. Let me know if I've missed your token.
Oh. Why did I roll it twice? Weird. Oh well.
Oh, I'm with the 18, so it's weird.
Oh well. If you want to
I can throw those in, man. 1.1. Okay, rolls for initiative 1.1, 18.1. So the 1 is the first one I saw. Go ahead and roll a fate dice. Killian 12.14.
Do you think Radiant would be good against this guy?
Dual Killians. Did I throw a second Killian on here?
Yes.
Oh.
I see two.
Matilda 18. Excellent. I will update that. The ping is wacky today, so yes, this will be fun. Bladebeak. Bladebeak's initiative, it has a separate initiative if you're not mounted, yes? Or does it always have a separate initiative?
It always goes after me. It
Okay.
doesn't matter.
I will remove Bladebeak. Selene. Okay. Excellent. So as we begin combat, you guys hear that shuffling of the creature above drop down and reach the lower level of the roof above you. Taking aim towards Jojo, pulls back one on its short bow and just looses one arrow. Bringing itself back. It's now basically visible on the second floor roof. Flying in, you just kind of reach up and just push the fucking arrow out of midair, snapping it in the shaft and throwing it off to the side as the skeleton reveals itself. And now, Matilda, you are up.
Can I see the skeleton? Or no?
If you can see it on the screen, you can see the skeleton, yeah.
Okay. I can't see, but I'm wondering if it's like connectivity issues. But
I know from your current position, it's the skeleton's fallen down, but with your passive, you'd see that it is there.
Okay. I would like to itty beady it, please.
Edie beady.
You have no line of sight from where you are at current.
Really? Okay, well, I'll move. Let me see.
There
we go.
Yeah. You shuffle forward, you now see just the pile of bones looking down towards Jojo shambling.
Bones. Come on, itty beady. Attack. Normal. Get fucked.
Yes.
Yes. All right, roll that damage.
Okay. And
Ooh.
then again. Does a 15 still hit?
15 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, my goodness. So, like, it launches a single arrow, you snap it, looking up, you see it shambling, and it's just like, boom, boom, it shatters into bones and launches across the battlefield. Deceased.
Alright, and I moved, and I'm just gonna, like, move back a little bit.
Mr. Matilli.
And then end my turn.
There's
So
two
they-
of you on this combat.
I know, I kept
That's
quiet.
fine. I like it. Jojo, you're up.
Okay, Jojo is up. I don't see anyone. That skeleton's dead. So Jojo's going to go up here. And she's going to Rage. Rage is that one. That's the rage, right?
I wish to rage. Make me so mad.
Oh, there we go. Yes! I will rage. Is it not popping up? Let me try again. Rage! Use!
We take
Yeah, you're not
one
mad
week
enough.
off.
Why? Why no rage? I'm trying
Rage?
to rage, but it won't let
Rage
me.
harder.
It's because of
Rage.
the heart on your shirt. It's like you're too sweet to
Oh,
rage.
now it did it. Yeah, the ping is not very good today.
How raged are you, though?
How raged? I'm
Raged.
rolling Wild Surge Rage. That's a 6. Have I ever done this before? Yeah, I have.
This one
It's
has, yeah.
It's my bonus to AC, which is good. It's good.
It's good, whatever. I wanted
Whatever.
new stuff.
It's 10 feet of me, have a +1 to AC. I really want that radiant beam. I've never gotten that. I want it so bad. Okay, and then she's gonna go over here and attack.
It was multicolored lights, yes?
Yes, it's like big globules, like Jojo is a lava lamp.
I think I could do something along the lines of this.
I think it might be fun to try and do some. Oh, what just happened?
Oh, I threw you a...
Goes over
Oh,
here.
Yep.
I think Jojo might actually go here instead. She is doing the attack that she's hitting with the scythe of the Sky Reaper, and so as she goes to swing it, the radiant sunlight scythe pops out of it, and she's just like whoosha, and sees if the sunlight does anything fun. Recklessly. Bad. This is 16 hit.
16 misses. As you bring that
Yeah.
weapon in, you see it brings its hand up with this just towering shield on it and just boom slams against your blade. As it does so, I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Okay. If it knocks it out of my hand, that might be good for me. I have advantage on strength saves when I'm raging.
I'm gonna say that that number is enough.
Okay, cool.
For a 27. As he brings that shield up and slams up against the scythe itself, you can see this radiant flame comes out, burning into a scythe-like shape. And he slams the staff part before the blade can reach him, kind of hovering above his face. It just boom sends that force right back into your hand, and you almost drop your weapon, but manage to just clutch with the rage and pure strength that you hold within you.
She's gonna come in with like it gets knocked back, and she's gonna come in with another swing to the side. And hopefully this one will do a thing where it hits. Yay, that's 26 to hit.
26 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
That is normal damage. That is 5 bludgeoning, and then it has... Wait, how much is it for the radiant?
It is 1d8 rather than 5. So you basically bring it in for a radiant swipe instead. So that is 5 radiant damage. It just states bludgeoning. So it's a 1d8 plus 4 radiant.
Oh.
Yes.
So it does work. It does way less damage by 2 radiant. That's cool to know. I thought that was on top of it. That's cool.
Oh, man. You can choose a radiant slash, basically.
Well, I did that, so it's 5. Actually, so it wouldn't be plus strength, it's charisma. So that's actually a -1.
So 4?
So that's 0 damage.
It was 1 plus 4. Oh, I see.
My 4 is my
fascinating. You bring that blade in. Here's the interesting thing. As the scythe slashes across the top of the head, what you get here is you see the armor itself glimmer and gleam with radiant light. And as you slash across the top of its face and like rake backwards in an effort to do damage, you can honestly feel this thing kind of almost draining against you. And then the creature's armor glints across its entire surface and boom, sends out a brief blast of light. But nothing happens.
So radiant seems to be bad against it. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what information I'm getting from that.
That's what I would glean from that, yeah.
It almost seemed like it was retaliating with radiant damage.
Oh, interesting. So if it takes radiant, it might burst out with radiant as well. Okay, cool.
Good for Matilda, because I'm resistant to get that.
Well, it might burst out with radiant to those beside it. So if you hit it with radiant, it might hurt me.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, Jojo just yells out, maybe avoid radiant if you can. And then she just drops her quarterstaff.
Okay, awesome. As you drop your quarterstaff, you end your turn?
Yep.
At the beginning of Selene's turn, she strides forward and kind of just begins to focus, bringing her hand down, and she's just like, you said radiant's really effective, right?
No, it's gonna
Okay,
hurt me
great.
probably.
Gonna use radiant. She
Okay.
strides off to the side. You see her like reach over to the other side of the wall and just kind of pull her hand back, raking across. And as she does so, you see this just globules as though she was just cutting across open air itself of this brackish green. And then she crushes them as they splatter forward towards the creature. Let me go ahead and see whether or not this is. You see it plant its shield down in front and just hold itself in place as the acid splashes against the side and just begins to drip downward. Loosing off of the shield, it just raises its eyes and glances forward with those black flames. Selene's like, awesome, and strides over towards the back. She pulls out her mace and she's like, this usually works. Before then taking the last few feet of her movement to run up towards them. And then preparing to just smash. And Killian, you are up.
Yeah, smash.
You said that this was 15 feet high off
Indeed.
the ground? What about this wagon?
Wagon is 10. However, as you look at it, it's basically like loose wire with cloth tarp over top of it. It definitely would not hold much weight.
Okay. Alright, well, Killian is going to... oops. Why can't I move?
Is it your turn? It should be, yep. Oh, do you have Blade Beak selected?
Maybe. There we go. Yeah, okay.
Huzzah. I'll shuffle Blade Beak with you.
Perfect. I want to try to jump onto this like lower roof.
Okay. You want to like try and scramble up to the top of the roof with a climb, or do you want to straight up like boom, pop up?
Ooh, superhero.
I would. I think I would like to try to like essentially spend Bladebeak's action to like kind of help yeet me up, and then just try to like land up there accordingly. Kind of taking my whole turn essentially to try to do that.
Here's what I'm gonna say. I don't think you'll necessarily need to do that. So
Okay.
I will say roll an athletics check with advantage for your mechanical bird. As the bird jumps and then you just jump off on top of them, I think your standing high jump would actually be quite high. 15. Bladebeak moves over here, jumps up, and then you Yoshi leap off, landing on the roof on top as Bladebeak descends in depression before landing on the ground and being like, oh. And then turning its attention back towards the fight.
All right. I just kind of like, point at the bad guy for Bladebeak, and I'll just kind of see if I can see anyone on the rooftops.
As you reach this section, you can see that there is another section of wall and another roof above you at the 15-foot mark. From where you are at current, let me put you at 15 feet. You begin to see into the rooms that you had previously been in this kind of second-floor gatehouse. And glancing in, you don't see anybody. Glancing all the way down to the bottom of the city itself, you also do not see any other assailants.
Okay. Cool. The athletics was my action, correct?
No, it was basically to determine whether your movement would work here. I would say you have 15 feet of movement left.
Okay. I'm not able to see down here. Is that something just a little funky, or?
Let me throw you here for a sec.
Okay.
There you go. Basically, the way that the Foundry works now is it actually draws 3 dimensions of sight. So the fact that you are at 15 feet, the roof here is at 15, so glancing down through it, you actually could not see them from where you were.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Well, then I will. I'll use my action to level my rifle. Attack.
Like me?
No, attack.
Oh, I got confused. There's a dot right above me, but it's to my right. So.
As you take aim, planting yourself, rings out, slams into the side of the warrior who's currently preparing to defend against Selene. 13 points of damage.
Woo!
They're bloodied.
Hey!
As that bullet rings through underneath the armor, slams out, and you see the head kind of drop to the side, but the eyes remain flared.
I'll take another shot. Oh, that's close.
22. It is going to use its reaction to parry the shot, and is going to redirect it towards Jojo, who has currently attacked it. Brings that shield
17.
up. AC 17. So that was a 22 to hit.
Oh, okay, cool.
So as it brings up its shield, brings up its shield, you see the mouth on the shield open. There is this golden mouth of just vicious teeth, and as it fully opens, the bullet flies into it. You hear nothing, and then it aims the shield down, flies out towards Jojo. So
Okay.
Jojo,
Roll
go ahead and
damage
roll
against it.
damage.
Yeah. 11 piercing.
So halved to 5.
Indeed.
Pipe.
All right.
Ow!
And then Bladebeak will just go here. For some reason, I can't move Bladebeak. But
That's the end of your turn?
that is me.
Alrighty. On the roof, you hear scrambling
Ooh.
as a small creature moves its way over behind you, Killian. And as it just reaches your back, leans over, and with one vicious claw, there you go, scratches against your back as best it can.
No, it's a no.
Oh, that is a multi-attack. First off, it's going to go in and attempt to bite at your back, and then reaches in afterwards in an attempt to claw at you in this just constant barrage.
Oh my god. My
Oh, no.
screen's just filled with pop-ups.
Wait, oh no, you're 15 feet up. Never mind.
Sorry, I rolled all of those at once.
Did the first one hit?
You have the option of using a reaction to see whether or not. What is your reaction you can use?
It's shield.
Okay, so if you don't want to use shield, you basically close that out.
Okay. But I get to know if I need to cast shield if I get hit.
Okay, so I see. The club, the first attack coming in was a 22, so that would hit.
Okay, then I will shield.
Okay, so the first one comes in, Arcane Shield arrives, slams against it, and goes for the bite as you see these just gnashing teeth and just faint powder and dust of the ages falling out of its mouth where there would be saliva. It just rakes against your shield in an attempt to hit you, and the second also misses. And then that is the end of the creature's turn. On Paka is kind of just sitting back and watching all of this happen. At current, he rushes past you, Matilda. Scampers up here with his climb speed, grabs onto the item that was there before, and just rushes his way back out with the rest of his movement. I can't end there. He'll be here. You see, he's just drenched in sweat, Matilda, and he looks up at you, and he's just holding on to a monster core, and he's like, I got it. He just kind of sits down on the bench and prepares. Meanwhile, it's the soldier's turn. Bringing back the spear for the first time, you see his mouth opens and a black just smoke pours out before it hits the shield, and you hear as it ignites in black flame. It then reaches back and 2 spear slashes in a wide arc against the 3 of you.
If it's a attack to hit, we all have +1 to our AC.
Excellent. Jojo, that first one comes in, 15 to hit, misses. Attack carries through in an attempt to hit Selene. With the +1 to the AC, it just barely misses.
Ooh.
Third one comes in towards Bladebeak, and with a natural 20 manages to hit.
Oh no!
Bladebeak, that is 16 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And then an additional 5 points as the just black flame tears through the chassis. That is 5 points of fire damage. It is then going to pull through and do its second spear attack. Actually, this first one would be against Bladebeak because it's carrying it back the other way. So that is a 24 to hit. But this time it is 8 piercing damage.
Okay.
And 2 points of fire damage.
Damn.
Selene comes through. The second one manages to hit Selene. 4 points of piercing and 5 points of fire. And then the last against Jojo. That is a 10, as you just managed to completely block the momentum of the spear, and it just stares at you, opens its mouth, and you hear, "Waddle into it."
Is that a recognizable language?
You recognize that it could be a language.
Okay, cool.
But you do not speak whatever language this may be. As it pulls itself back, you need to give that damage to Selene, and top of the round, Matilda, you are up.
It's time for my turret. Can I go past Paka just fine, or is that cut into movement for me?
Paka does not have the thing where he is not difficult terrain yet, but basically it's an additional 5 feet to move past him.
Okay, that's 10, 15, 20, 25. Ah, whoa.
You can see Bladebeak from around the carriage, but currently the carriage is blocking most of your line of sight.
Yeah, shoot.
I should say that Bladebeak is bloody.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Would I be able to kind of pinpoint a direction to shoot my itty bitty from where I've been hearing combat happening?
I think you're aware, based on the positioning, that the enemy is here.
Okay.
But from your current position, you just can't manage to spot them. So you can do something that would not require you to see the target. Because you do have line of sight to their square, you just can't see them.
Itty bitty does not require line of sight. Just
I believe you need to be able to see any creature to roll an attack roll against them for the most part. Does it say a creature you can see within range?
Hold on. And information. A creature within range. So just
Yeah, make a
these.
ranged spell attack against the target. Yeah, I guess so. Go ahead and launch those EDPDs.
Okay.
This is an unseen attacker, so you do have disadvantage on this attack roll.
Cool. I can't target them. I can't like, select them.
Shoot
with
Blade
the
Beak.
whole- Okay, I will shoot. Sorry, Blade Beak. I'm
Truth
very
be told, I
sorry.
love Blade Beak. I don't mean for this to occur.
Do it.
With disadvantage 17, you shoot the blast and you hear the creature bring its shield up and poof, deflect the necrotic energy. You see it fly off into the sky.
And the one that's on the roof, is that one dead?
No, it is viciously attacking Killian and currently like
Oh
just
shit! Okay, I will also try and hit this one. I can't see this one. With my second beam. Okay, attack. Normal.
17? Okay, let me see this. So with a 17, you blast this creature. Go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Return
14.
it.
So here's what's going to
Return.
happen. If this creature dies here, it will not be able to use its vengeful strike. Deceased. As you blast it,
Ah!
it turns to attack Killian in another flurry of blood rage, but it just can't. Like that force energy passes through its body, its eyes just go white, and it collapses into a crumble of bones.
I am going to, for my bonus action, use 2 healing lights on what's their
I do not
nuts?
believe that standard healing can heal Bladebeak.
Oh,
Can
Okay.
healing spells heal Bladebeak?
Let me check. Actually, so I don't think there's anything about it can't be healed. However, if the spell itself says it cannot heal constructs, then it would not work. So, like, Cure Wounds, I think explicitly says that.
Okay.
okay, hold on. Let me check healing light. Healing light. Features. What does healing light say?
There's something about
You
healing
can
creature.
heal one creature you can see.
Awesome.
So it doesn't
Love it.
specify whether or not it's organic or inorganic.
Awesome.
Yeah, that
Can
works
do.
then.
I
So
mean,
the
otherwise Warforged?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
playable. So awesome. You unleash
I-
this divine light that pours down. 6 for the first.
And 4.
And 4.
So,
Grand total
So
of 10
10,
hit points back to you,
yes.
Bladebeak.
Nice,
Yes.
very good.
and then that is the end of Matilli's turn.
Alrighty.
Maturit goes into defense mode.
Maturit finishes Matern. Jojo, you're up.
Okay, Jojo is gonna bring out the Scythe of the Sky. Oh no, not the Scythe of the Sky Reaper. That's what I just threw down. The Lodemnian Night Sword and smack this guy. Recklessly. Oh, I'm sorry, I did recklessly before, so all of those attacks against Jojo should have been at advantage.
Okay, I think one of them missed, so I'll just roll another d20. Missed.
Attack. Advantage. Haha. Yes.
Oh no!
Yes.
I like
now
that.
I-
31. Ouchie,
Wait, I
ouch.
didn't roll yet. Was that just a normal, or
With
was
the
that?
hit.
Sorry?
Oh, that was to hit.
Yeah.
Critical hit. Versatile. Go. Where
Oh.
did it roll?
So that is 32 points of damage.
Woo!
So carrying through with your shows of force from the mines of Ironhall, literally vivisecting people with blunt weaponry. What are you wielding right now? A Ladumnian Knight Longsword?
Yeah.
You tell me what happens.
They just went through with this like swing against us, right? As they come through this way, Jojo brings out her sword and going in the same direction that they just finished swinging, just goes like, whoosh, and just like cuts them right through the waist.
Just
Sort of like getting them from behind, so that their shield has turned around with the passing of the swing. So Jojo just gets them from the back through to the front, and it just clean
Does
through.
it go like bong when you do it?
It doesn't.
Not a-
When you hit a
Only
creature, they hear the sound, but no one else
Ah,
does.
oh my gosh, that's so rude.
It's very
And
cool.
bear in mind, this sound is 2 times louder than heavy machinery. So that is not a comfortable
I
thing.
think what they hear.
No.
I think it says that they hear the faint, distant ringing of a bell when they get
Mm.
hit. So it's not the same exact noise, but
Okay,
it's
okay.
yeah.
Phenomenal. As you bring that blade through armor, through the epaulettes of the creature, it just slashes, hits the shield, and like a brittle cracker breaks the shield in two through the mouth. As it just falls to the ground and slams, you see it. The black flame pulls from its eyes
Whoa.
and exudes out of its mouth
Quickly.
and lifts for a brief moment.
Do I have a lantern? Do we all get lanterns? I feel like we should have prepared for this.
Each of you may roll a fate dice to see if you bought or brought a lantern with you. So Jojo, this is your fate dice. You see that the
my-
flame sits there currently. It's not like dissipating immediately. It almost kind of hovers in place like a wisp at the moment.
Hey, that's fateful.
19, you reach back and you grab Old Faithful, the lantern that you bought. We actually flashed back to the store and he was just like, "This was my grandfather's lantern. He was an old man like me, but then he died. But I'm alive, so
My
you
name's
should probably use this." Yeah, they call me Old Faithful. They shouldn't. They shouldn't.
Oh no.
And then we're back to the present.
Amazing. Yeah, Jojo just takes this hooded lantern and it's just like, yeah. Like, you know, like catching a fairy in Legend of Zelda. It's just,
Just
yeah.
ludicrously fast.
Da-da-da.
Actually, here's the problem. Your lantern had water in it. So instead of
No.
scooping, you go. So that was your action. It does actually require an action to collect this thing.
Oh.
So,
Oh no.
Okay. Anything with the rest of your turn? You have a lantern. It's out. It's no more than an item interaction to hand it off.
Jojo, like, as an item interaction. Oh wait, she pulled it out as an item interaction. Never mind. She's done.
Alrighty. Selene as an item interaction grabs the lantern. And as an action is going to roll religion.
Ooh. Come on, cleric.
What?
She wears 15 different religious symbols. How religious do you think this person really is?
-1.
You think? She reaches forward and carefully opens up the front of the lantern and just for a brief moment chants something under her breath as the flame beckons in, ignites in the lantern, and she closes it, locks the top, and you see the flame itself kind of burn ever so brightly before the light around it begins to almost dim. As you see, the entire area surrounding this lantern is now dim lighting, and the front latch just begins to heat to the point where it melts and then cools. And then she kind of just holds this lantern in hand and is just like, "Now somebody kill the gnoll."
Oh right.
The bonus action. That is the end of Selene's turn. Killian, you are up. The gnoll's not there. It's been thoroughly dead, but Selene did not see that.
Gotcha. Already dealt with.
She begins to look around. She's not entirely certain if anything else is coming. And then as you guys kind of sit for a brief moment and rest, Selene says, "There was 2 more over on the roof on the side, but it doesn't seem like they're coming."
Huh. Weird.
She
Why?
points up towards this way. "I don't know."
Okay. Killian is going to just kind of slide down the roof from where she is, kind of onto or probably in this case through the like thin wire canvas part. Kind of tumble her way over to Bladebeak and start mending.
Here's what I'll say. When you fall, you kind of the canvas you feel like it's going to hold, but then it immediately unravels. You boom, slam into the wood of the carriage, and you look, you see a little chest there with your passive perception.
There's a chest over here. So just like pulling tarp, extracting myself.
And then you end up next to Bladebeak.
All right, I take the next minute or so to start casting mending.
Okay. You just begin pulling in the arcane sigils out of the air, kind of just almost like mechanical rhythm burning through it. I wish I had that song here, but it is not allowed. As we sit, that is the end of your turn, Killian?
Yeah, it's gonna take a while for me to do that. So
You guys hear shuffling on the rooftops, but that is about it. And on Paka's turn, he moves and continues to collect the
Santa?
various different pieces
I'm kidding, sorry.
of fallen goods. You see a slightly larger gemstone fall from the large creature that you've just defeated, but at the moment, you guys are technically out of initiative. You know that there are enemies around. They do not seem to be immediately moving up towards you. And you all find yourselves now on the street in abject silence. You hear the shuffling of a full platoon of knights down the western exit that you had previously seen trying to attack you through the gate, and the gate is closed to the north. But you do know the method to dealing with it. So in this instance, I don't need you guys to run through. You can just be like, and we open the gates.
Okay. I'm supposed. I mean, we just want to skip past this floor to the fourth, right? Like this was all we wanted to do here.
fill in Damon, because Killian definitely knows what's going on. But the goal was grab the flame and then continue.
Yeah. Like
Okay,
to
so
the
we're
fourth
pushing.
floor. Yeah.
Okay. We're not trying to go fight like the Sun Knight.
I don't think that was the plan for today, right?
No, as much as Matilda wants to follow that weird spectral chick, that is not today's
Okay.
plan.
Selene looks over towards you and is just like, I don't. Yeah, the infiltrator knight. That's the fire guy. You have his staff. You said you haven't fought him. You got the staff from somewhere else. But
The infiltrator knight is at the Sun Cathedral?
he's waiting outside of it.
Oh, okay.
It gets pretty heated. Fuck it. I promised I wouldn't do puns. He summons a sun. And it just rains shit. Okay, so
Cool.
Yep.
Do you want this? And she picks up the scythe. This is so bad for me. This is such a worthless item
Should-
for me.
what is it? Skills with charisma, yes?
Yeah.
No, fuck no.
Yeah. Matilda, do you want this?
No, maybe later.
I'll
Can we-
hold on to it.
You guys prepare. So you want to move back towards the southwest exit and leave back towards the Moon Cathedral and around towards the manor, yes?
To get to
There's-
the fourth floor, I think. Yeah.
There's a chest here, though. Should we open that
Oh,
first?
yeah. Sure.
You pop back into the carriage, you pull out this little chest, you place it down. It's just a simple latch on the side of it, and as you unhook it and throw it open, it contains 400 silver pieces,
Ooh.
Woo!
which I'll add to your guys' loot.
Money.
Agreed. Selene leans in and just presses her head against the wall, and it's just that's an even split, yes?
Yeah.
And then she just leans back, she's like, I wouldn't want to have to mace you in the back of the head. Had to take your piece. Not that I would, we're family.
Of course you wouldn't.
I wouldn't, that's why I'm saying it like this.
I mean, I'm happy to help murder your husband, but we don't owe you any alimony, so we're just gonna make it equal across the board.
That's clever and quite funny. She turns and walks away. You guys begin to circle around. So who goes to the... I will just ask this one thing. Who goes to the north and who goes to the south to pull those levers?
Oh, it was a strength-based thing, right? Georgia
Was.
definitely does one.
I am likely not partaking until Bladebeak's healed.
Okay. So with mending is the cantrip, you guys want to stay here, and it's a minute casting time, yes?
Yeah.
So here's what I'll
it'll
say.
Be about 5 minutes probably if I roll well. Otherwise, it'll take a little longer.
So I'll say roll a d8, and then that will be how many minutes minimum? 5. Beautiful. 5 minutes pass, and Bladebeak is back up to spick and span. No longer bloody.
I have a question about, which way do we have to run when we pull the levers?
Here, let me go ahead and take control of the stream screen for a moment.
Because
You need
if-
to go here. So basically, the pathway that you guys know is through the house, and then it leads out to the main kind of large overarching bridge that then leads to a gatehouse.
Matilda's weak as shit, so she'd probably stayed close to the group closest to where we have to run, so just not to get left behind.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Longstrider. Oh wait, Longstrider stays a long time, right?
So here's what I will ask: north or south?
I'm assuming
What's
south.
that? Oh, okay.
Till
That's
south.
the way with all the owl bears, right? And then it also has the invisible bird.
Oh no, I
thing.
mean, are you guys going to this lever or this lever? Because there are two in the gatehouses.
Oh, right.
I
Jojo will take north.
North.
believe
Okay.
thinking Killian can take south.
Okay. And then Matilda, you also wanted to go south.
Yes, please.
Okay.
And then maybe Selene goes north just to make sure
Yeah.
that Jojo has someone with her.
Selene will make sure to go north, and then Paka says, "I'll go with Jojo." And Selene's like, "Great, me too." Just kind of watches him off to the side. As the two of you reach this juncture here, Killian, Bladebeak, riding astride on your faithful mount, and Matilda, you hear
Oh,
above
great.
you.
Hmm.
And waiting in ambush, you see two massive gnoll creatures dive down and immediately begin to take pot shots. You are surprised. Actually, I will say you were aware of a threat. You knew the creatures were here, so you cannot be surprised. So in this instance, as you guys begin to move, everybody, once again, roll initiative.
Ooh, combat
Rude.
session, hell yeah.
Dungeon session, yo.
Woo! Haha, 3.
11.
Paka is always
Yeah,
in it.
Matilda's fucking kicking ass today on initiative. My turret engaged.
You are prepared. Paka's turn begins, and he looks towards Jojo and is just like, "Are you pulling hard enough? You need to do it at the same time. It's only half down. Here,
I
let me
know,
do
we
it."
haven't
He
done it
jumps
yet.
on and he begins to hold and he kicks his feet. This constitutes my action. Matilda, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna hit this guy. Because little does the weird hand know that if it hits me with the melee attack, it's gonna probably blink out of existence because I put armor of Agathis on before we start fighting. So Matilda's like, "Come at me, hand bro," and
The
here we
Honda.
go. Aha! Eldritch itty bitty attack! Oh no!
Oh.
Does
16
that
hits. Go ahead and roll
Okay.
damage.
So 7 for the first one, and then itty bitty again.
Is that against the same creature or a different one?
Yes, same
Same
one.
creature? Okay. Excellent. So I will just close this. 20 to hit. Okay,
Oh.
so 7 damage and 5 damage against the same creature.
Yeah.
Just leaning back, boo boo, still mid-air as you prepare yourself. The crackling energy tears it to pieces before it hits the ground.
Oh,
My turret, pull! Yeah, you got it, Damon. That was good. All right, and then do I have anything as a bonus action? Nope. So I'm gonna. That's in my turn.
I came into the fight and I ended my turn. At the end of Matilda's turn, the claw moves over towards you and begins to crawl up the side of your body, Matilda. As it just reaches up towards the center of you, you see it just kind of exert this little bit of force and attempt to dig into the side of your body.
Oh, this is a melee attack?
This is a melee weapon attack.
Oh, get fucked.
no.
So this is a 22 to hit, so that does hit. How fucked it get?
It immediately takes 15 points of damage because it hit me.
You have Armor of Agathis up?
I do.
Okay, I did not see that on your thing. I
It-
think I can throw that on.
I thought I did have it on because one of my spells is done. And I guess maybe it came off.
You can totally have it. I don't mind that at all. Let me
Okay,
just
'cause
see if I
I
actually have
did-
an Armor of Agathis. I just have
'Cause
Mage
I-
Armor. Okay, that's fine.
Because before we even left the room, I threw that on.
No, I love that. As it leans down, this just like frost that encompasses your entire body just siphons in and strikes back, so you take 3 points of damage to your temporary hit points.
Yeah.
And then the creature is just like just pinned to the wall with this
Huh.
just ice shards before it slowly begins to fleck away to dust.
Hey.
And now, Killian, it is your turn.
All right. Well, these guys are eating out at us. Are they within 5 feet already?
They are. This one's on the ground here. This one is 10 feet away. They are 5 feet from Bladebeak.
Um, riding him. So I will drop my rifle over here, pull out the Enthean Knight Longsword, and slash.
Ooh, that hits. Go and roll damage.
Right. Nine.
The creature is viciously bloodied.
Alright, I go one more time.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I think this constitutes a vengeful strike at this point. 22, that hits. Go ahead and roll damage. Okay, so this will be a duel. Tell me what happens. You bring your blade back, and it, as it sees its own demise coming forward, just lunges at you viciously. What do you do? Tell me what happens.
So I think I was going for like a kind of sweeping strike the second time, and then kind of bringing it around to like kind of flipping the blade and about to stab downwards. And then it lunges, so it like comes like essentially leaps through the sword to like reach for me. But then additionally, because it's attacking me, Bladebeak is going to use its reaction to get its like beak just in the middle and just like kind of try to slide it back down the sword away from me. So it has disadvantage to attack.
Awesome. Let me go ahead and roll this again. The advantage, or the standard attack, was a 22, and then the disadvantage was an 18. So it still manages to get you. But here's what happens. You bring the blade down, its face hits it, and just vivisects, and then Bladebeak lifts up and begins to push it, and basically, like, just a piece of the jaw tears out and like a projectile slams into the side of your neck. You take 5 points of piercing damage, and the creature is just carried through, drops in 2 pieces to the ground, deceased.
All right. I just kind of like pull at the jaw and toss it to the ground as well. And then I guess there's 2 little crystals on the ground now, right?
There are.
Or 3?
There is 3. There are 2 gnolls and 1 hand. As they all flitter away to dust.
I'll pocket those for now since Paka is not here.
And as once again combat slowly comes to a close, I'll say this, Killian, while you were on the roof before, go ahead and take control of the stream screen again. To the south of you, you took note that there is some kind of a stone pathway over here, just beyond the trees and kind of hidden away. From where you are now, as you look up, you see a wooden palisade blocking the progress to that location. But from like the current position and knowing where it is, you can now see that there seems to be some kind of a hidden path.
Okay. Killian will reach back to her ponytail, pull out the little metal hummingbird, go into her pocket, take out a little kind of chunk of tourmaline, and kind of socket it almost like a shotgun casing, and then flick it into the air. And Strumbeak will appear.
Oh my god, is Strumbeak like a hair accessory until you boot her up? Oh my god, I love
So
that.
amazing.
That's so good.
Yeah, just a little hummingbird, like kind of cinch piece.
Hell yeah.
So Strumbeak can like check it out and come back and relay the information, but you don't have any kind of telepathic communication. Yes.
No, it has to like essentially like dip its beak in ink and just like draw or write what it sees.
Oh my
because it
God.
understands common.
Amazing. I also like to think that like a firefly can like use the tourmaline and just like focus so that it lights up and just kind of shoots words out like just projector. Strumbeak takes off into the sky for a brief moment and goes to begin examining. Go ahead and roll. Let me bring a Strumbeak in. Roll perception for Strumbeak.
Strumbeak's perception is so much better than mine.
Don't think Strumbeak is unconscious. 14, excellent. Strumbeak returns to you and lets you know that there is a home to the south, that this pathway leads up and over. It is shrouded by trees, and there's a small treasure chest off to the side over here. Within the home itself, the doorway that would lead to the bridge down here is locked. But from the inside, it is just destroyed. As Strumbeak entered in, she also heard just this faint Or it, I suppose, not she. And Strumbeak returns with that information. As you all find yourselves within the area and prepared to pull on these levers, seemingly safe from where you are right now, that is where we will go on break. We will come back in 15.
Eee!
So, Killian, actually everybody in the group, as you all prepare to pull the levers, at current, the north group is pulling the lever, Paka is hanging off of it, and it's kind of just at half mast. What do you guys do in the southern group?
I'm going to send Strumbeak to let the other group know that we found a chest. And so we're just grabbing that before we pull the lever.
Through an open window, Strumbeak makes their way in and just kind of hovers above you. Definitely not like a military jet flying in.
Uh-huh.
It's supposed to be a bit more delicate than that, I believe. But it kind of hovers there. And can Strumbeak speak?
Strumbeak cannot speak, but it can write.
Perfect. As it begins to scribe just this message on the side of the wall for you, it turns its attention towards you and it's just like,
Oh, okay. Follow you, I guess? Okay.
just gone.
Oh,
no
God.
hesitation. Start running. As you guys join together in the southern section.
I got
just-
Long Strider on, baby.
Baby.
What did the message say?
The message
much
just let you guys know that Killian spotted a kind of like secret pathway to the north up here, and then that led out to a small chest and the interior of a home.
Oh, also, there's a Bianca. I mean, this way.
Hello, welcome back, Bianca. We are
I just
so
remembered we didn't.
I am so bad at this. Bianca returns, and we have a Vincent once more.
Yay!
Gold star.
sorry for dropping.
Gold star me. Thank you,
sitting here
Candace.
just being like, well, it's always party time when Vincent shows up, but this is fine.
You're right. I didn't put on the disco light filter. My mistake. Actually, Jesus, there is no music that is further from Vincent than disco, probably. But we jump back in.
You got a chest? Where is it?
It's just like it's kind of tucked into this area. This is a palisade. Did you say?
There is a wooden palisade that has been erected here. It's just like spiked wood that is pointed outwards at the top of a stone wall that has been hewn.
Need me to smash through it?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually the wall
Probably.
itself is about 10 feet. So with you at full height and your axe, you're pretty much right at smashing height, or with your warhammer or sword or anything.
Nice. I'm probably not gonna use the Damon sword because
It's
it's
probably
loud.
a good idea.
Yeah, I'll take Jaeger's lucky hatchet and just start just start whacking at it.
Okay. The hatchet. I'm gonna need you to roll. This is actually gonna be pretty hard because you're looking at 10-foot high wall, and then at the top of that wall there's a kind of like a 4-foot opening that has been covered in wood spikes pointing outward.
Oh.
So basically, you'll need to kind of somehow leverage yourself to break this, or figure out a way to climb over it without getting
So
spiked.
probably my warhammer would be better.
Yeah,
Okay.
from what
I'll
you
grab
can
that.
see.
I'll use that instead.
You pull out your warhammer. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Okay. Warhammer. Yeah, hang on. I gotta open up my character sheet because I don't have my warhammer locked and loaded. Is it working for you guys?
What do you mean?
Are you warhammering?
I can't move my character. Oh, I can. Okay.
It's because we're in combat turn.
No,
I'm
it's on
not
free
the-
movement.
Anyone, so that's why. So attack. Why no attack? Attack me. Attack Matilda.
Oh, there you go. 5 of them just
Oh.
pop
Yeah,
up.
I noticed I couldn't move either. The server was.
Ah.
I see. Yeah.
Don't attack my turret. Don't do
I
it.
will attack my turret.
I like how you're like, attack me? No, attack Matilda. Warhammer, Warhammer, Warhammer.
Does that hit?
14. You bring the hammer back. You slam into the top of the wooden palisade. It just boom bounces you back.
Maybe I should use the longsword.
No, because that's so loud.
Yeah, but it'd be such good work with this. Should I just try again?
Yes.
Jojo, you could just try prying open a board or two from the
Did I-
bottom. There's enough room to get through. Instead of knocking
Okay.
the whole wall down.
You have a crowbar, right?
He looks down towards Paka. Want to give her the crowbar, do you?
Whoop.
Okay, let's say this instead. Brute force isn't gonna work? What? Oh no.
It's time. Brute force won't work. Let's try brute force.
Brute force.
You put in the you put in the crowbar. Go ahead and roll athletics. You have advantage on this, I believe.
Intelligently.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Here's what you want to do then. Roll a tool proficiency check. So just roll dexterity. Well, roll strength. Or fuck. I want this to be intelligence somehow, but I'm sitting here being like, but do it. Roll int with proficiency.
Int with proficiency.
I want you to intelligently tear this shit apart.
Mhm.
I
The
just-
crowbar would give her advantage on it, so
Indeed.
would you get advantage too.
I'm just gonna roll a history check because it's the same. So that's
Sounds good to me.
13.
You put that crowbar in, and you're just like leverage, leverage, leverage. Hit. Didn't work. Roll strength.
Okay. Athletics, you mean? It's advantage?
The same thing. Yeah.
It's a 19.
You place that crowbar in, finding the best point, pop it down, and the entire thing kind of lifts up, and then you see the wood lose its position and just kind of crumble down as most of the logs begin to fall backwards, leaving the pathway clear for you.
Eh.
Killian does kind of like pat Jojo and says, Strumbeak heard something there, though.
Oh. Okay.
So there, I don't know what, it didn't make a lot of noise, just a little bit.
So go forward stealthily. That's what we're saying.
Or let Bladebeak go first.
Okay.
Bladebeak will step through.
Oh.
Bladebeak moves up
Yeah.
towards the wall. You see the feet like clamp into the side of the stone and just begin to climb up to the top as it reaches the top where the palisade once was, and then looks onward. You can see now into the home, and you just see destruction. Chunks of wood, pieces, lost furniture. But Bladebeak can also spot the little treasure chest off to the side here.
Bladebeak continues forward.
Yeah, I love that the song's called Surrounded.
I have a quick question for Killian.
Yeah.
This is more of an out-of-game question. The end of the last session that I remember playing, I asked if it was okay if Vincent could get that concentration thing on him.
Oh, okay.
Did that go through or not?
Well, let me check what infusions I've already activated. So I can have... How many can I have active at once? Let me just double check real quick.
We can continue while this happens too.
Yeah, because I didn't know that ahead of time, whether or not that had been used. So I just kept the same infusions I had been using previously.
Okay, then we'll go with that.
Infusion. Done. Sorry for the wait. Infuse item.
I'm pretty sure it's 3 infusions at this level, but I could be wrong.
Infused items 3. Yeah, I have infused 3 items already.
Cool.
Mm.
So, when we do our next rest, I can unfuse one and do your con check.
Sweet.
So as this discussion faintly goes on in the back, everyone's kind of sitting back and planning. Bladebeak continues moving on as a sentry. Reaching the side, sees the treasure chest, looks up and sees the opening to the doorway, upon which time Bladebeak with... what is Bladebeak's passive perception? Let me go ahead and take a look at that.
It is also better than Killian's. It is 14.
A 14. As Bladebeak glances up, it sees faintest little piece of a shadow kind of like just move out of the way as though it had been staring out towards you from the door.
The shadow was sorry.
Just up here.
Up there. Okay. Well, Bladebeak's eyes just like narrow, and it just kind of does a little humming sound as it combat ready, and Killian is gonna crawl up the wall to follow them.
I just imagined it making little R2 noises.
I'm not even gonna try.
How high is the wall?
10 feet. It seems actually rather climbable. For most people, it would just be a matter of time, not necessarily like impossible. You could hop up and grab and kind of pull up, unless your strength is like an 8 or lower.
I would love to stand on top of JoJo's shoulders and like Maturret's just there, like her eyes, and she has like an itty bitty ready to go. Something happens.
Get up here.
Yeah. That's basically what happens. Like
cheerleader hoister.
Yeah. Maturret's just like up here, looking over the wall, waiting for something to happen, and she has an itty bitty ready to go.
Killian's gonna command Bladebeak to pick up the chest and like bring it to the wall.
Bladebeak goes over, moves back, like grabs onto the latch on the side of it and just begins to drag it backwards. Nothing happens. You slowly begin to back up. 5 feet. You see Matilda, and then after this kind of sick jump, Matilda, still on JoJo's shoulders, you just lower down, eyes still squinting, until eventually you make your way out of the way. Continue back 5 more feet. Reach the side, you hear shuffling on the inside of the house. Wood boards begin to creak. Pull yourself back. Bladebeak reaches the edge, until finally you hear a just thunk as Bladebeak makes it all the way back with the chest. You guys now have a little treasure chest sitting here out in the open as you sit and you coerce within this courtyard.
Traps.
I assume we don't want to stick around here too long.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah,
can we
probably
do
be
a quick
wise.
trap check on this chest?
Yeah.
Go ahead. If you have proficiency in Thieves' Tools, you may make an intelligence-based Thieves' Tools check with advantage.
Vincent would like to keep an eye out while they're opening chests and doing stuff.
I'm doing it as an investigation because it's the same stats. So
That totally works. Gleaning over it, taking a look one way past the other, you take a look. You see a faint little wisp on the inside. And as you open the chest ever so slightly to see it, it tears its way out and just out into the open air disappears. But nothing happens.
I guess I did it. All right.
What was that? Was that like
You may roll an Arcana check. And to anybody else who is proficient in Arcana may also roll one.
Oh, okay. Can't remember.
Come on. 17?
With a 17, JoJo, you have no idea what that was.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
Huh.
Okay.
But the chest seems, from your experience and your considerable experience, Killian, you know that the chest is devoid of traps. Whatever that may have been, the trap it was not. You pop open the chest itself, and within, you find a key.
Oh.
A small key. Let me pop this open. And you find some kind of a tinkerer's contraption. Looking at it, you're not entirely certain what it does. It doesn't actually. It almost seems like there's things that were meant to be legs on the bottom, but like are angled in opposite directions, and then there's this spherical body, but then there's like pieces missing out of the center of it, as though it was supposed to be something at some point, but the person who was inventing it just kept changing their mind, and now it's just nothing. You find a tinkerer's contraption. As far as you can tell from your experience, it's probably worth like 50 gold worth of components. And then you also find a small pouch of 30 gold.
Ooh.
And a note in common that just reads 1317.
Ooh, that's a safe combo. Or a lock combo. Or a house number. Or, Do any of the houses have like addresses numbers on them? Are they numbered?
Everything that you guys have seen, for the most part, within the dungeon has been of languages that you couldn't comprehend. And then sometimes, like a sign dropped in front of Vincent previously, that even then the words were not like written in a language he could comprehend, but for some reason the meaning came to his mind. There have been lots of instances of that, but whatever language these things are written in is completely unrecognizable to all of you. So yes is the answer to your question, but incomprehensible.
But the note is in common.
The note is in common.
Interesting. Is there a symbol on the key?
The key itself is just a copper key. It does not look emblazoned or impressive.
I do like to think that Killian and Matilda made eyes at each other when they saw the contraption. They were like, ooh, something we could work on.
Okay.
Okay, well, I guess toss the pouch to Paka? Is that who takes the gold usually when we find it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can keep it on Pocket there. So we get out of the dungeon and sort everything out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also give him 3 little monster cores that I picked up previously.
He takes those. He adds those to the list. But just to say, the Tinker's contraption itself looked like it was worth about 50 gold in components, but there was no gold within the chest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what about the small pouch with the 30 gold? Didn't you not?
Yeah.
Is that not a thing?
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I was reading
I
from
wrote it down.
Odd. Let me
It said
go
it's a small pouch with 30 gold in it, and it had a note that said 1 through.
Okay, I was on
13.
autopilot reading a different note I had up, but there's a small pouch with 30 gold in it. Congratulations.
Hey!
Let me remove that from an
Yeah,
alternate
there-
universe.
There was a key and a note with numbers, but it's a normal ASCII key. There's a contraption which we can give to Paka for now.
So you give the contraption to Paka as well, or did you keep that one?
Or sorry, Killian, did you want to keep that on your person?
I don't necessarily need to keep it. Do I think that there's like some like meaning to this thing, or is it like just like, oh, like a tinker was having fun with this and
From
just
what
got
you-
lost in the sauce?
From your experience in the craft, it seems like a tinker was having fun and then was frustrated and then was having fun and then was frustrated. But it doesn't-
So they were tinkering.
Indeed. So basically the way these notes work as well is that I have like the alternate universes of the dungeon within them. So this chest could have been something completely different.
Mm.
So I was just
Oh,
giving you
dear.
guys more chest stuff.
It's possible that you could possibly. It seems like they changed their minds a bunch of times what they were wanting to make. You could like try and figure out what it was trying to be and then finish it.
Yeah, I'll hold on to this. I've just noted down though that it is worth 50 gold, and so I'll take that out of whatever we make on this run.
Yeah.
Okay, then in that case, I can also subtract that from our loot split gold calculator. So you guys currently have 5 party members. So the loot split would be 4
And
ways.
Paka.
Perfect. And Paka is a completely separate part of the calculator. Paka currently has
The mule calculation.
is super happy with just his 5% cut. Is just
Aw.
loving every minute of it. So you guys now prepare yourselves to move into the home, pull down the levers, and through your knowledge of already how to do this, make your way beyond that. Pulling it down, you now have the north. You now have the north and the western gates open. The north, as far as you are aware, could lead you to that sun church thing. The west leads you to an open courtyard, but you also know the pathway to pass through there without alerting the beasts that hide within. Where do you
Oh.
go? Not pushing to talk.
I said, Selin, dear, stay close to us. I'll show you how to get around everything.
Sure, I haven't been through this floor a few times.
Yeah, but some people take a different route. You know, like through the enemies. We prefer to go around.
I mean,
Also, we could-
I know the pathway through the enemies. I'm fully aware of that one. Actually,
just
I am
be
being
better.
cheeky, but I genuinely don't know how you guys got through this next part.
We also could just be better. Like that's just a reality.
But also, if we're worse, let us know so we can do better.
Can do. You guys did not too bad this time. The lower floors are pretty easy. But for the most part, we had a relatively large party, and we were comfortable with our tactics. You all seem not too bad, to be honest with you.
We're
Good
saying
blasting.
this while we're like running at full pace.
Or stealthing past the owlbears.
So previously, as you guys had moved through the city, you kind of like knew that nighttime the guards that were wandering the streets are somewhat thin and sparse. You were able to sneak past them before, so you totally can now. You know that there is an encounter down a long pathway with these guards that are constantly roving this one area. You guys choose to pass by that, and then you make your way into the central square. At this point, at night, everybody roll a fate dice.
Fate dice is just a d20, right? I always forget.
Yes.
It is
You can
indeed.
Okay.
Alternatively flip a coin. I like rolling dice because then I can get a nat 20.
Perfect. As you guys reach the central square, the large procession of people, there was a series of villagers and two very large noblemen. A noblewoman and a nobleman wearing incredibly fancy clothing. They're completely absent right now. You can see flickering lights in the distance as they are beginning to move towards this location, but they are not yet here. So you have the opportunity to pass by completely, or potentially set an ambush if you wish.
There's we know that means that Astrid will be coming through here pretty soon, right?
From this location, you are...
I don't think we know that yet.
Yeah, the
'cause
last time we saw her was literally at this gate.
At
We
this
don't know
gate,
anything
yeah.
past that.
As
yeah, we don't know
you...
where she went past that, I guess. But
If you guys were you setting up that kind of like pathway? So you went to the inn and you did all the things, then you came here.
I mean, Matilda would know if what time she goes.
But it's a
through.
matter of whether we triggered those events.
I'm just,
Or
yeah,
whether
if
we
you
were
guys
we're
wanted
going
to, we can totally be
forward.
like, yeah, you did that.
I feel like we would have, because if we spent the night at the inn, there's no way we wouldn't have like cleared it first of the monsters.
Up to you. You can just not touch stuff, and then the monsters don't attack you.
Yeah, but
If-
that's stressful.
If you guys were, if JoJo was in her investigation mode, same with Matilda, I'm sure they would have done it. Vincent wouldn't have sought it out, but he wouldn't have stopped you.
Yeah, I think we did it.
Awesome. So as you guys were moving through with your previous fate dice, when you get here early. The lights, the flickering lights in the distance. Do you guys sit and wait for the potential Astrid? Matilda, with keen mind, you are fully aware that it would be like a couple minutes. It would actually bring this to be a pretty close scrape, but it is your choice.
I sort of think that I would like to stay around and watch where Astrid goes, and then we can sneak past this area since we know how to do that. Are you guys okay with that, or should we just go and like take the safe route?
I'm free to play along. The play was a little bit interesting, so
Sure, we can stick around.
Okay. Oh,
It's
Matilda.
gonna be tight. The odds are kind of not in our favor at this point, but I mean, I'm always about progress, so I'm very curious about where this goes. I think
What
we
about
should
you,
wait.
Hmm.
Have
Well,
you-
most people are saying wait, so I don't. My vote would actually just be go, because I don't know like most of this story that you guys are talking about, nor have I witnessed it. I mean, I just saw some of it, but we had to run past the woman to get here in time, so I don't care. I can kill some stuff. I'm not very hurt. I should be okay.
Vincent
Okay.
will just like lean on her shoulder. Well, we can enjoy the show then.
Can we set up somewhere that's a good hiding spot that we can see the gate from?
So the area that you currently are, as
Is
I
it too
actually
far
bring
from
you
that
guys up
spot?
there.
It's so hard
there's
to
no-
find them visualizing.
There's no gate here now. As you arrive in this new area, you kind of run past the guards down a cobblestone kind of main thoroughfare. And then as you reach a large open courtyard with a destroyed fountain in the center, that looks like there's just been marred by war. You can see palisades and broken areas that are just set up as barricades. Beyond that is where you see the lights coming closer.
Okay.
So let me go ahead, give me 1 minute here, and I'll pull you in.
Does it look like waiting here would be difficult? You might be spotted.
Where you guys are currently, because it's basically you're at night. there is darkness all around you, but the people that are coming have torches and move pretty methodically through the area as far as you can tell.
Okay.
That definitely
Everyone-
risks being caught.
Vincent will telepathically connect everyone. Everyone get a little close. Let's enjoy our company. I have something I can put up as cover. So we're all within
Yep.
5 feet of each other, basically. Like a box shape.
Okay.
Looking around, is there like crates and walls and said there's destruction and stuff up, right?
Give me one moment, and I'll pull all of your guys' PCs into this map. You have Selene with you. You have Apaka with you.
Mhm.
And Bladebeak. So Strumbeak is here now, right?
Stormbeak is here. Yes.
A nice little little posse entourage. And now, welcome back to the battle map. This the ping in this area has been, or in this fine day we find ourselves in, has been rather low. But oh, that loaded really quickly. Let me know when you guys get in.
We're good. Okay, so we're at the
Very
beginning
fast.
here. So we're standing in the middle of the road. Is there any way we can stand off to the side so that when this individual walks by, we're not? I don't think we'd fit in that, Killian. It's too small. But even
Yeah.
if we're standing in the corner over here and not
That's
in
just
the middle
the
of
that's the
road.
path we've taken in the past. to
Yeah.
bypass this.
I think we're waiting here though to see what happens.
So as you find
So-
yourselves here, from beyond off into the darkness, well beyond where you can currently tell, straight to the north past just various different kinds of barricades, you see the flickering torchlight coming closer. It is now relatively close, and you guys
Mhm.
have all decided to wait here.
Yeah, Vincent would
Think,
like to
um,
cast a spell before time passes anymore. That's what I was trying to do originally before. So could I throw that up?
Sure, what is it?
So as we all clump together, like he asks, Vincent will what does it require? Pull out a bit of fleece from his lapel and kind of blow on it into the air, and a shimmering barrier will come and cover us in a 15-foot cube around us. And he'll make it look like a stone wall is blocking us basically. He'll put up a silent image.
15-foot cube. Oh, nice.
While we do that, could Jojo snap her fingers and the flump appears in like this poop of like fairy dust? Like it's just like a void. It's like as this flump appears and just like and Jojo's just gonna like close her eyes and like look through it, and she's just gonna have it sort of like be on top of a building over here looking into the bigger courtyard into this area.
Do you summon it as a raven?
I think it has to still be a rat because I haven't spent the material components to change its form.
Okay, you summon the flump and it's hovering there, like just effortlessly hovering, and you're just like, go over there, and it's like, It stops and thinks for a second before landing on your hand, and just begins to like octopus its way over and up the walls until eventually it lands over here. At 35 feet up on top of this wooden watchtower, it begins to overlook the area. I do not believe. What is the rat's dark vision?
Oh, that is a good question.
If you're looking through your eyes, it would be your eyes, not its.
It has dark vision for 30 feet.
30. Okay, so it
But
can't.
yes.
It can see most. It can see in the sources of light, basically what you can see, but beyond that, it can't see much of anything. Let me go ahead and give you control over this particular flump.
How far
so-
can I summon and desummon a familiar?
I think it's like 60 feet.
It's whatever the spell range is, I think.
10
Only
feet.
10 feet? That's not very far at all. It says it can cause it to reappear in any unoccupied space within 30 feet of you.
Okay.
But
so
it
that's
doesn't
30.
say anything about desummoning it?
There is a part about spending, I think, an action to put it back into your space. It might mention a distance then. But if
What are you trying to figure out for this one?
Just if like we want to leave, can I just like desummon it? Like if I wanted it to like have a better view, could it just be hiding in the center of the thing and then I can just desummon it whenever?
I see.
But yeah. I'll just read into this.
Okay. In the meantime, as you are all kind of like hunkered down here, the illusion of a stone wall appears, and knowing it is an illusion, you all see through it, faintly shimmering, just wavering before you, as the large group of people make their way into the central square. As they do so, I need one of you to roll a d100.
I can. 57.
7, okay. Around you, you see people begin to appear, one at a time. As they do so, they actually begin to kind of shuffle into position. And moving forward, you see 3 villagers. Actually, from your current position, you see a single villager, and then one just massive noble that, as it reaches its full form, it tears out of its clothing and just becomes this hideous monstrosity. This just large, peckish beak, small, beady eyes, furrowed brow of an owlbear that stands before you. You can hear the shuffling of feet off in the distance, and as they begin to look around, they do not see through your guys' illusion in the slightest. As you continue to wait here, and as they begin to move down, glancing through the area, you spot a single figure. They reach about here, this group. The second group goes a different direction and moves down to the left side of this watchtower. And as they begin to flank you, you see Astrid's form appear off to the right, standing behind the wooden wall, staring out, and she mouths something in silence. I need whose passive perception is high enough to even potentially see this.
I think Vincent has the highest one.
Vincent, you can roll perception with disadvantage. You see her mouth move, but you do not know what words she speaks. And she turns, and as she spots them coming down this way, this villager moves over here and just begins to kick down these palisades one at a time. And the group continues to move towards you, and Astrid turns and begins to run down the side, where you see her ascend a staircase and continues upwards this way.
Did it look like they reacted to what she said?
I don't think they saw her.
They definitely did not notice her. It's like she looked around the corner, mouthed something, and then turned and ran.
Probably. My guess is she said, "Oh shit."
All right.
She also could have thrown her voice too, and made it seem like she was there was a sound over there, and they heard her kicking stuff over. But
Are they moving in that direction, or are they just standing there, Adrian?
Now they are moving this way, towards you all. And as they continue to move up, you see they don't pay virtually any attention to this stone wall. They just they do interact with it. They sidle past it. And as they reach here, they just continue past you all to the south and outside of you down towards the city center where you had just come from. You also hear the sounds of the other group moving in a similar fashion, waving their torches around and glancing, looking as though for something intently. And then they all pass you, leaving you alone within this courtyard.
So what's the plan? We'll look towards Jojo and Matilda.
I can't hear right now.
Oh yeah, you're still. You didn't tell anyone you were leaving either, so you're just like sitting there standing there with your eyes closed.
And Jojo is like
I still
has her hand on like Killian's shoulder.
Okay. Did you let Killian know?
Yeah, I think she would have said, "Hang on, I'm looking through my familiar" before she.
You can still speak, by the way. You just can't hear or see.
Yeah.
So I guess Vincent looks towards the group. We could head back our usual way, or we could follow Astrid, but well, that's unknown territory.
That's not our goal this time. So
I feel like we should keep going.
Yeah.
Now we know that she goes that way, though. So when we come back, we can go there first instead of waiting around.
Did anyone like remind me of the frog person on the first floor? Like, does any of these characters like they change into different creatures, but they seem like similar people?
I don't think Matilda knows too much about nobility, but what you do know is that they definitely seem, other than wearing fancy clothing, the nature of their fancy clothing is completely different. Also, the nature of their movements and just their actions, incredibly different.
That's what Matilda was looking for. Not so much like knowing about nobility, but the fact that each person has their own set like presence and like ticks and things that they do as like a character in the story. So Matilda's trying to see if she can match anybody to it
And
she's seen before.
absolutely. And Vincent, in this instance, with your knowledge of nobility, I would say go ahead and roll a history check.
These aren't the same people that were going through the wagon that first time we came through?
No. Well, the first time that they came through, yes. But in this instance, you can see that they don't follow the same methodology, but they do follow the same pathways, and almost in the exact same periods of time. But previously, yes, they did siphon through the wagon. In this instance, they were moving through and almost focused more. You're not entirely certain what may have changed their
Route.
methods. Yeah, their route is the same. Their actions are different. Which is pretty interesting. As you, well, might be boring as hell, I don't know, but we'll find out. With a 14 history check, Vincent, looking at these people, they're not even real nobles, you can tell. These people are, though they dress nicely, they do not have the air of nobility, somebody who has been brought up to be anything. These people are recent, they're new money. That's basically the best that you can tell. However, the noble that was in the carriage previously knew how to throw his authority around. He was purebred noble.
Yep.
So as you guys learn that, finding yourselves within this area, you choose to sneak the route you had previously taken and make your way.
As we start sneaking, Vincent's going to he can keep his silent image up for 10 minutes. As we start moving, the wall is going to shift, and then a veil of like black shadows is going to swirl around us to help us keep concealed.
I thought our wall was gonna be like Solid Snake, like the box.
I love that.
But I know that's not what you did, but the idea was very funny.
As you were moving through, Vincent, with your passive perception of 16, as your shadows veil you and move from areas of darkness where they're invisible through faint bits of light, you hear on the rooftop above you, shuffling of feet running away.
I heard something. He'll ping. I guess as we start moving, he'll tap JoJo on her shoulder.
She would have gone back in as soon as we started moving.
Okay.
So
I just wanted to make sure we didn't like that was covered too. And I'll ping everyone, like the main people, except for Paka, and just be like, I heard someone move on the roof.
Do we want to?
I don't know if they're following us, just movement.
Killian will just kind of tap Strumbeak and say, see if you can sneak up there and see what it is.
Strumbeak, once again, not unconscious. Let me just heal them to full.
Thank you.
500 hit points. As Strumbeak begins to fly up, this creature, or whatever it may be, managed to get a fair little bit of distance between you guys as you were deciding whether or not to check on them. As you fly up, roll perception with disadvantage. Coming back down, no creatures in sight.
I think we should keep moving though.
As you guys continue moving from here, you find your way, and you can still hear as you pass through the city into the church that lies dedicated to the moon. The statue of the knight that you had previously felled with the two dancers kind of embraced, still there.
Huh.
Still sitting there, kind of just staring up towards the destroyed statue of this unknown moon goddess. And as you all pass by this area, the chittering of the monkeys above, looking down upon you in the darkness, continues. Every now and then they throw a faint pebble, but you make your way past. They do not seem to engage. As you reach a long, drawn-out pathway of stone, you once again hear above you. Everybody roll stealth. Vincent, through the 10 minutes, I would say you guys are basically at the tail end of your spell, so this will actually be this creature attempting to see through your illusion, first of all.
guy was blind.
Actually,
Well, I'm sorry.
you are absolute. Well, it's invisible. And
Yeah, I
as you
thought
guys,
last time we figured out it was blind too because we just used like sound illusion.
you are
to
absolutely
spot away.
correct. So in this instance, this would just be a stealth check.
Okay.
But I rolled it not invisible, so I will ninja this roll.
Oh, Killian's got to reroll.
Oh shoot. Yep.
I'm assuming we got to roll for Blade Beak. Do we have to roll for the familiars like Strumbeak and the Flump as well?
We could say that they're just like on your guys' shoulders, so they wouldn't necessarily need to do anything unless you were actively using them,
No,
which
in
had
this
not
case-
previously been stated.
Yeah, in this case, Strumbeak just attaches to the rifle. Then I'll re-roll mine as a ninja.
Excellent. You hear above you. You see pieces of shingles fall, slam on the ground beneath you. You can see the wood begin to buckle on both sides as the claws begin to dig into the side of stone. You see just holes appear with no creature. And then it looks down towards you all, and you can feel its weight shifting around you before eventually it passes, makes its way towards where you guys are going.
Does it feel intentional or just like bad luck? Could we wait and see if it passes?
As you guys were like sitting back, you guys were silent as a grave. As you look up towards the creature, with your passive insight, you ascertain it was looking for you and didn't find you, and is now continuing its prowl.
Okay. If we stay here, we might be able to let it pass, but it seems to be going where we're going.
Can we throw something to like?
Yeah, you guys drew it away with illusions last time, right?
Yes, I could try something. Hold on. Could Vincent cast? I guess he'll distance cast this. He wants to get it as far as possible. Just a minor illusion. He'll make a noise, maybe like footsteps or something in the complete opposite direction, 60 feet away.
Okay. You hear it begin to move. I will roll insight for this creature against your spellcasting ability modifier. So what is your... Actually, we'll take spell save
It
DC.
was-
What is that one?
It's 14. It was deception before, but we can do this.
You can choose
first.
deception if you like.
I would prefer.
Mm-hmm.
So,
In that case, roll a deception check.
cool. Give me 1 second.
Can I help? I'm also proficient in deception.
What would
How
you
would
do
you
to help?
aid with this one?
We both have minor illusion.
But
so
you
we
need to.
could.
I'm casting it further because I'm distance casting it because minor illusion's got a really short range. So
Sorry,
you
Here's-
have to draw it
never mind
closer.
Here's how I like this help. Matilda, you cast to the full range minor illusion of footsteps descending, and then Vincent casts another 120 feet away footsteps
It's not
descending. So it sounds
120
like
feet, it's 30 feet and 60 feet.
totally fine. But at 30 feet, you hear footsteps descending, like moving away. And then at 60 feet, you hear footsteps moving away. So this creature is hearing them actively move very, very far and consistently. So
Yes.
go ahead and roll with advantage.
Yeah, I wanted to stack that.
Ooh.
17.
17. Creature turns, and you hear as it just begins to move towards the church where you just come from. And you guys run. As you make it to the gate of the mansion safely, you find the moon gate in front of you, and Paka's like, ha ha, pulls out the key, places it in, turns it, and he's like, I helped so many,
Good
and
job,
pushes
Paka.
open the gate before
So good.
making his way into the courtyard.
By the way, for next time, I have a catapult, which is like any object within 60 feet of me, I can launch another 90 feet from me. So
Well, you
that
have
might
to-
work good for that.
yeah.
I would have given you a vial because if you threw that and it would have shattered glass and then it would have made a noise.
I'm curious how like certain spells would work in that, because how noisy is that compared to like minor illusion?
Well, this creature
Catapult?
seems...
Yeah.
It depends on what you're launching. Even
Yeah.
a stone would be like... It's like the ultimate skip across the lake. You can just be like, boom,
Yeah.
Super loud, depending, is basically the answer to that. You guys make your way in. You are now at the courtyard outside of this large mansion. As you stare in, empty. And you guys circle around, reaching the floor for the fourth floor marker for the second time. Circling around the mansion, you make your way down a large, shrouded wooden path that has been seemingly built purposefully with topiaries and trees surrounding. As you reach here, you did so rather quickly, and you take note you hear footsteps behind you. As you take a glance behind, you see the spectral form of Astrid following suit, running alongside the path you guys are taking and moving immediately past you, until she pulls up her dress and begins to gingerly take steps down around the back of this mansion, immediately kicking off the fine shoes that she had been wearing and running barefoot, before making her way down the steps, past a forest, and in the distance, you see a massive stone wall with a single cave opening leading through to an ashen forest where all is green.
Oh, she went through. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, awesome.
You all move and you approach. And as you pass the threshold once more, with your guys' passive perceptions as a group, you take note of the heinous stench of death. From the left of you, as you pass through this stone archway, and color leaves you, you look to the left and you see a very, very, very thin pathway leading into a cavern. Seemingly has been chipped to be slightly wider in the base, and you can see a pathway of blood being dragged from the ground into this small cavern, but that is not where Astrid went. Astrid went straight ahead, into the forest itself.
Did we see this pathway last time? No?
You didn't. Not immediately.
Generally speaking, having worked in a morgue most of my life, if there is a pathway that has blood leaving into it, you don't go that way, because that means that the body came to life and it went that way, or that's where the murderer went and they're dragging the body with them.
I'm sure that no one who wasn't in a morgue before would know that.
It's
you
very...
don't know. Rangers are fucked up. They follow blood trails.
Actually, Matilda, roll medicine with your knowledge. Literally all of this knowledge you've just said.
You are right. I was like, ooh, blood trail? That might be an interesting way to go. So you got me there, okay?
Yeah, no, don't.
Hey,
Bad. Oh, whoops.
I'm having difficulties picturing this area. Can you re-describe it again?
Absolutely. Let me just finish this one thing and then I'll move through.
Can I not roll ninja medicine?
Yes. Please feel free to roll again.
Okay. Oh.
With a 10, the DC for someone who has not been through the experiences that you have would be different for someone who has the history you do. But in this instance, with a 10, that is what you needed. As you were looking down upon this, you see scrapes along the ground from that of heavy plate, potentially, metal scraping against stone. But not only that, you see probably dozens and dozens of individual scrapes. The blood of maybe hundreds of people have been dragged through this small crevasse and brought into this cavern.
Yeah, you probably see like scratch marks of people trying to stop their
you don't. You see no struggle, just dragging of bodies.
Ooh.
What you also do not notice in an instance like this is any kind of monstrous nature. There's simply a scraped path and dried blood, some still yet wet. And as Astrid runs into the forest, I will re-describe. So, Vincent, whole scene, yes?
No, it's more like I know there's a trails, forest, and blood on the floor. I mean, like, where is this in correlation to, let's say, the manor or the night? I just don't know where we are. Oh.
Gotcha. Here, so actually, let me drag you guys into the center of this courtyard here. And then I will draw you a little map. So the mansion was like here. Oh, good. You guys can only see that one. That's perfect. And then there is a pathway leading around like this. You guys went through that pathway, and then there's a huge stone wall. There is a pass through the stone wall here that leads this way into the forest, or into the mountain pass itself is a small hole with all the bodies being dragged into it. However, you do know that Astrid did not go that way. She went into the forest.
Okay, and where is this in correlation to the 4th floor portal in the sun area?
The 4th floor portal is right there. That is exactly where
Oh.
you guys are. The sun area, as far as you know, is just somewhere over here in the city.
Cool.
So do we believe that the little mountain pass with the blood and the drag marks is part of the 4th floor, or is it still part of the 3rd floor? 'Cause it hasn't been
3.5.
fully through. Yeah.
Oh,
roll,
no.
Roll investigation.
It's the floor that's based on 3.5 edition.
It depends. Does the blood have color?
Try to take a 5-foot step.
Some of the blood is fresh. Some of it has bright red, vivid reds. The others is like stained to black and has long since gone. I forget the word for old blood.
Dried.
Stagnated. No, there is a specific word.
Coagulated?
Thank you. So Killian, with a 12 investigation, you're not entirely certain. This pathway, like, it's pretty much right on the cusp. So it depending on where it goes would determine that. But from where you are, you cannot tell.
It's a little bit tricky because the blood you can still see has like color, right? And I don't know if that's because it got hurt on this side and then it starts to go colorless as you go further in, or so I'm not entirely sure.
We didn't see this last time we came through here. Are we sure that this is like maybe specific to this version of the dungeon, or
Did we even try to go through the
I thought
gate,
we
or
did
had
go
we-
through because Matilda, you collected some.
Yeah, we went through
Right,
to
dirt.
save our progress.
Yeah.
Just to get a peek.
Selene does lean in and says, as far as I know, and it's actually, I spent quite a long time studying it on the dungeon when I cared more. There shouldn't be specific locations to floor variations. The dungeon itself is a set piece. Though you may not spot the ways past. And then I will look at something. I did see this before.
Okay.
We passed through. It's odd. It's off in the dark. It's hard to spot, but I did manage to see it previously. We've never gone down that way. It just didn't seem like a good idea.
As
You and me both, huh? You and me both.
Okay, well, let's skip it then.
You guys pass through the threshold and you move into the 4th floor. And as color leaves you, you manage to find yourself. You hear a faint, listless disappearance of sound for a moment as you pass through this ornate archway of stone. And as you glance, you also take note that of all of the ash gates that you had previously seen, they sported a similar kind of runic almost marking. A brilliant flourish, so to speak. But as you look around here, there is no arch. So as you glance, you actually take note that the stone itself, the very pass you are moving through in this large arched shape, sports that same runic marking. Hundreds of feet tall, but in no way similar to what you had seen previously. Looking past it, you begin to see the forest beyond you. The forest that
Good.
stretches out here. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, continue.
Oh, I got a long piece of blurb here, so please feel free.
Vincent was just gonna turn to everyone. Should we change into a silver attire or wait till it starts getting hot?
Killian just like pulls her clothes down and she's already wearing it.
What did you guys make me? Is it like a cloak or shirt? What's it?
Pasties.
Pasties.
That's it?
Matilda, how do you even know what those are?
I don't. Oh, I know what you're talking about now.
From my understanding, I think Killian understood that it was like meant to be underclothing, and so it looks like old-timey men's swimsuits. I think for almost everyone.
I love
Well,
it.
Vincent actually requested his own individual like role, and then he went and got Tristan to customize something for him.
Yeah, that's fair.
So Jojo's got this like high school wrestling outfit on.
Exactly.
Hell yes.
Yeah, and I mean that's what my headcanon was. Matilda, you worked on it with Killian, so if you
I would have kept the same thing. So Matilda just looks like, I don't know, like a small child from like Peter Pan and like footy jammies almost like with because
And Paka's is basically just like He just threw some over top of
Is
him.
it his raincoat?
Yeah,
I
he
love
has a
that in his drawing,
raincoat.
He has a
Exactly.
raincoat.
It's got a hole in it, and it's like a flared out fan, and he just drapes it over himself and walks around. Every now and then he like kicks up the
Poncho?
silver and just throws it out. And he's like, "It's like a flower."
It's like
He just keeps hitting it up.
It's a pocket poncho.
Oh, did we have enough for Selene?
You did not.
Yes.
Oh,
This,
no.
that is a way later kind of thing.
Vincent requested us to make something for Selene, didn't you?
Armor-
I had no idea she was going to be a part of this group
Oh,
until like
shit.
literally the day
day
before.
of.
We
It
went.
would have been like another few weeks of preparation. So that's
Oh,
just
God.
something that was just like, and then Selene will be thirsty.
Oh.
Vincent will turn towards Selene. I'm assuming this floor, you know what to expect on it.
She nods. She's like, it's not unbearable, but it would be best if we got through. I know some stuff. It's been a while since I've been back here, but I can help. I can help you guys' way through.
Vincent will like circle around her a little bit, just kind of looking out at the forest, and then in her mind, I can give you my suit. Well, roughly, I think it'll be a little baggy, but it'll do. I'm more resistant to the heat, but you need to do me a favor. I'm to make you a little bit more comfortable.
In my experience, when people circle around you and say they will do nice things for you in exchange for favors in a creepy manner,
I was
you should
simply
probably
watching your
say,
back, dear.
Okay. I'll tell you what. What's the deal?
You just save a little bit of your healing for me. Something in reserve.
This is all in her mind.
Yes.
I want you and Selene to roll deception.
We're all rolling insight.
This is passive
Matilda-
perception because you guys were not
Matilda-
actively looking at Vincent. Go ahead, Matilda.
I wanted to say that it was a disadvantage for Matilda because she's like in the process of stripping and getting into her thing, so she's not paying attention.
Excellent.
I don't think Killian is bothering to pay attention.
My passive insight's 10, so there's literally no way that Vincent couldn't always pull one over.
You
Matilda's
guys
like-
do not take note of this happening.
Matilda's forcing like Jojo to hold her shit while she gets changed.
Yep.
Selene just gives a brief nod and says, "What a gentleman!" as she reaches for your cloak. She says that out
Vincent
loud.
reaches into his bag and like out loud being like, "Don't worry, dear. I got you covered." And he'll hand her his cover like lining. It was built to go underneath her suit, but she should be able to wear it underneath her armor. It'll just be a little baggy. I think we're the same sort of build wise. Like Vincent's pretty lithe compared to like a draw elf, but he's taller than she is.
As you hand her the cloak and you say, "I've got you covered," she literally is just like, "I said no puns." As she throws the cloak on and she looks back towards you and kind of eyes you up and down and just gives a nod and then just moves over towards the side as she prepares to, well, she just waits for you guys to get all dressed into your scrunchies.
As everyone's kind of going through, Vincent will assess if the temperature gets too bad. He's just going to use an action to cast his armor off to try and stay cool.
You all
I
look
like this. Jojo gives like Matilda all of her stuff while she gets changed, and Matilda just like falls over because it's too heavy.
You can just put it on the ground. Like, you don't need to hold it up.
Okay.
Paka picks it up with one hand, then looks over towards you and like he like pauses for a sec and then it's just like keeps kicking up the silver stuff. He's like, flowers, and then just moves off. But as he kind of just trudges through, and you all reach the outer area of the gate, you pass through the stone pass before you. And the forest that stretches out before you now is unnatural. The landscape stands, shifting in the faint breeze. Gnarled forms of ash fall into the shape of trees, clinging desperately towards a gray sky. Color seems to hold no meaning here, save for the brightest greens, reds, and yellows. You see a canary in the distance, bright as the sun in contrast to the gray waste before you. It flies by and lands atop a tree's boughs, only to have it crumble under its weight, and as it falls, it finds itself held down by the weight of the ash underneath. The entire tree falls down upon it, and you see faint movement. Another feature of the soft gray ground. As it hits, just all descends. Like a dune in the desert being splayed across the distance. As the land begins to see a speck of color in the form of still smoldering sparks that fall faintly as the wind picks up around you. What do?
Do we still have sight of Astrid?
Astrid has fled, and as you look down, she previously was wearing this kind of like blue and white dress. She was dressed very nicely, but as she moves into the area, she's gray along with the landscape. As she runs and you guys kind of change into your clothing, moving into the landscape, that's perception with disadvantage, but this is going to be a very high check.
Okay. Yeah, it's only 9.
Are we able to like interact with her spirit? I can't remember if we can or not.
He's never noticed us before. I think maybe, this floor is supposed to take a long time to get through. Maybe if we follow Astrid through it, it's like a shortcut.
I also wonder if it would be smart to find a way to attach a spell or an item to them so that we could follow them. So, say for example, I casted light on a rock and we're able to, stick it to her and then follow the light through the pathway.
She's sort of spectral.
I know. That's the thing, is I can't remember if we were able to do anything to her or not.
She passed through us when we tried to interact with her at one point, I think.
I don't think anyone's directly tried to interact with the phantasm, but it has physically passed through you guys as it was moving through its pathway.
Yeah, that's what I mean. She ran through Vincent, I think, at one point.
You guys begin to move down this serpentine stone pathway. Before reaching the bottom, Selene moves over towards the side and it's just like, it's supposed to be somewhere around here. There's a stone. It's got some stuff carved on it. Everybody look for it. She begins to move and just throws piles of dust out of the ground. It's got a hint. It's all cryptic and shit. I don't remember what it was.
Hint. Okay, cool. Immediately starts like throwing dust around.
It is your guys' choice here. You can roll perception or investigation.
Can Killian roll investigation, and then can both of her mechanical beings put their heads together to roll perception with advantage?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, could my flump aid me?
Yes, absolutely. You have the help action.
Okay, so it's a 22. Flump isn't very helpful.
My friend,
Is
Tormund.
as helpful as a flump might be.
Yeah.
And Matilda, you had your hand raised.
Yes. Are we all colorless when we
You
came
are-
in here? Like,
As you enter in, you are all colorless.
okay, cool. And then I want to pull out my notebook that Mama Mal and Pom Pom gave me and see what notes they have on the 4th floor.
Let me take a
Well,
quick glance at your guys' characters as well. So you can see Paka's jumpsuit. You can see his yellow raincoat. I don't know how I forgot that. You can see Vincent's gold eyes. Aside from that, Killian, you have yellow eyes as well, right?
Kind of orange.
Orange? Okay.
My glasses and my earring are gold-ish. And then my eyes are light brown, but I don't think that...
Anything that you guys are wearing that is just pure red, blue, or yellow is visible. So, like, your gold jewelry is visible. Vincent's eyes are visible. Paka's his etc. His clothing is visible.
Yeah.
Killian has a bleached strip of her hair, but it's not bleached white. It's like bleached yellow.
That would be
Cool.
visible. You can see that streak. In the
And my
distance.
blue coat would be visible, I'm assuming.
Your blue coat is blue, yeah.
Yeah.
But basically, the 3 primary colors are still visible within this gray waste. And with that tidbit of information, I had lost what someone had previously said. What was that?
I think it was just Matilda asking about the color. And that was
Okay, no problem.
No, I asked while they were looking for the clue with Selene, Matilda opened up her notebook from Pom Pom and Mama Mal to see what
That's
notes
right.
they have on the 4th floor.
In this instance, for the 4th floor, roll a d100.
Matilda's very good and only reads when they're on that floor. She doesn't want to cheat.
Pretty much.
21. The information that it reads here is just like, farmhouse. Can we avoid it? Can we not? And then you see another note in there from Pom Pom just being like, I personally liked it quite a lot. She's like, you would, as they just begin to like shuffle back and forth, almost in like an argument, before it ends up just being like, I'm tired of undead. There was enough undead. I don't need this many undead. And then just kind of like circled around towards the bottom. But as from where you are and where you're glancing out, you just see an infinite forest. You do not see any kind of farmhouse.
That seems like the previous floor.
As you guys sit with your investigation.
I was out of character, by the way.
Okay. You manage to dig it up. As you literally, you're standing on this several feet of solid, dense ash. You can see like the midsection of some trees. But as you begin to dig down and the wind blows the ash in different areas like dunes, you find a stone plinth. And upon the plinth is some runic markings in a language you don't understand, but yet somehow, once again, the meaning comes to you. It says, names of the fallen, guided by the lost. And then Selene's reading along. She's like, yeah, okay. Time dusted, wayward frost. Over forest, under till. Fire burning, ocean still. Rose and arch remain alone. Last reunion, yet unknown. I'll copy this in the chat for everyone. As you look upon this, Selene's right. Okay, so basically, this was the riddle for the floor. Is the names of the fallen guided by the lost. There's spirits, and then they don't interact with you. They just go off into the forest. Ignore them. If you go out there, you pretty much just fucked. Time dusted, wayward frost. There's a section where there's clocks. It had something to do with that. I think it's like follow the clocks or don't follow the clocks. That's not very helpful. Over forest. I remember this one. There, you get to a point where there's bridges above you. You want to go on those bridges, and then it leads out to a farmhouse. And then something about a cellar. There's a cellar at the farmhouse. The rest I don't remember. Sorry.
Okay.
The cellar in the farmhouse would probably be under till.
Or it's under the crops. It's like tilled dirt, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Names of the fallen, guided by the lost. Do you think possibly guided by the lost? I mean, you said you know what it is, but immediately I thought of Astrid being the lost that's guiding us through here. If we followed her.
You have to understand, Jojo, though. Every adventure we've talked about, and some could have lied, but no one seemed to have any idea what Astrid was. So these clues might not necessarily have anything to do with that.
Well, this isn't left by other adventurers.
I understand, but it's just something to keep in mind. Seems
Also,
to be special or something. I find it funny that we're the only ones that know about her.
Yeah, I've never seen this whole thing. When we stayed in the inn, we just didn't touch anything.
Yeah.
And then, of what Selene knows of this, don't follow the spirits in the forest. There are bridges above the forest. Something to do with clocks. And there's a cellar underneath a farmhouse. And that is all she can recall from her previous jaunts through this area. You find yourselves now in this forest with infinite pathways to go. You can go north, west, south, east. South itself, as far as you can tell, will lead you right back towards the stone wall that you had previously come from.
With my 9 perception, I didn't even see which direction Astrid started to go.
No, when she kept running as you guys were changing, and as you were at a high perch, but as you looked out, she just disappeared into gray.
Okay, cool. Which way? Selene.
We need to go over the forest, so we have to go on the bridges over the forest, right?
Well, we gotta do them in order. Names of the fallen, guided by the lost. You guys are mentioning Astrid. Sorry if my info's not like complete. But we took that to mean do not follow the spirits that try and beckon you forward. Time-dusted wayward frost. Let me think. I know
You said something about clocks, but
there's something
you seem
about
to be
clocks.
absent-minded, do you?
I
A place
think
like this doesn't seem like it would have much frost.
wayward frost probably means don't go that way, because when you're wayward, that means you're going kind of like the wrong way, or you're kind of like lost. So if it's, we don't go somewhere where it starts getting cold, I'm assuming. Okay.
Well, Vincent will look out. Can he walk in a direction? He just kind of wants to take a perception of the landscape and just try to see. I know he did get to see Astrid at the time, but maybe a guess. If he was her and in her position, where would he go?
Okay.
Go
So
that direction.
in this instance, so you were taking a look and trying to determine the best possible route that someone in Astrid's position may have taken. So with your insight proficiency, you have advantage on this survival check.
12.
A 12? I mean, that's not bad. Your average person is a 10 DC. As you begin to move and you take a look around, moving into the forest, you see the infinite forest plains shift. As soon as you reach the bottom and you actually begin to move in, the trees themselves obscure the distance, but you can see trees that were different, that you could not see from atop the cliffway before you. Looking to the left, you see particularly sharp-looking trees. There are these just this pathway that seems to be led by nettles and brush. You also see, as you move through, you hear the faintest bit of coming from your east.
Like a ticking of a clock.
Indeed.
Seems like maybe the direction to go in.
Would time dusted be like an hourglass?
Oh, that makes sense.
No guess is as good as mine, I guess. You can go with that for now.
We
Does
go
anyone
towards
have one?
an hour.
An hourglass? At home, I didn't think to bring it into the dungeon, dude.
Why not? So-
Vincent prestidigitations a small hourglass in his hand, and then after 6 seconds it disappears. Do we need it for something?
Hold
Well,
on. Well, like,
time works different, right? Time might move faster or slower.
Hmm.
Time might get dusted.
how many spirits are there usually in the forest to try to guide you?
Oh, they're just kind of all over the place. You'll see them every now and then, and they don't necessarily interact with you. As soon as they catch your eye, they just begin to walk off.
Hmm.
But we had
Hold on.
a guide who followed one once, and that was just the last we saw of them.
Sorry, dear. Didn't mean to interrupt. I just think we need to go along Killian's little line first, and then we'll switch topics. There's a lot going on here. I think we're going down too many cobwebs, too many paths. And he'll summon the trinket again, because it is physical for 6 seconds. He'll turn it over and see if it starts to fall.
Oh, the clock. As you flip it
No,
over,
the
hourglass. My mistake. As you flip it over, you see the sands as they normally fall at this rate. They're just
Okay. It's normal.
it's moving at rapid speeds,
Oh, so it's not normal. Sped up.
incredibly. You ascertain just in the time you've been looking at it, probably 15 to 20 seconds have passed over the few seconds you were looking at it.
Okay, so about 15 times, let's say. Then Vincent will do it once or twice just to get a good query. Time seems to be sped up about 15 times what it should be. That's
so weird because I mean, hourglasses don't actually use time; they just use gravity to tell time, right? So unless the gravity was also different,
well, I'm gonna chuck
Then-
that out the door considering I'm not getting to the flow right now.
I'm just saying, time is
Yes, but
relative.
the dungeon's a
Are
bit
you
odd.
trying to make logic out of this? She points up towards the ash.
Yeah, this reminds me of a dream I had.
I'm a little bit hesitant now. Time is about 15 times what it should be, and from what I know, it takes a very long time to get to this level. you think if we age faster on this floor than any others,
Probably.
Yeah.
then we should get moving.
Georgia like drops the
Vincent
hatchet.
just like spins on his
Just seeing
heels and
gravity.
starts heading in the direction, ignoring
But there's
everyone now.
a lot of dust on the ground, though, right?
You guys are standing on a desert of ash.
Gravity doesn't seem to be increasing.
As you drop it, it drops it at normal speed.
So weird. Also, the color that is showing up, if there was like a spectrum of color blindness, it shouldn't be the like primary colors. This place is super weird.
Let's get going.
Vincent's already probably like 20 feet ahead of you guys. He reaches into his lapel and pulls out what looks like a flask for alcohol and uncorks it and starts drinking it, and then puts it back into his lapel. This will be a long trip.
If I throw the dust in the air, does it behave differently with gravity, or is it the same?
As you guys are walking through, you grab a handful of dust and you throw it up, and it flitters away in the breeze as you would expect it would.
Okay. I do take a big pocket full of whatever the fuck this dust is and put it in my pocket.
Sweet.
If
Taking.
anyone's- Oh, sorry. If anyone sees trees fall into the shape of an eye, just let me know. No reason.
It feels like there's a reason to that. If there's not a reason, tell me, because you're fucking nuts. You just laughed. That's worse. As you guys
It was part of the dream. It was part of the dream.
Okay. I don't get you. She looks at you and she's like, humans? You're most of the way there.
Carson,
At your service.
do me a favor. I'm sure you can handle this. I know I could. Document everything I see from the 4th floor onward, an organized notebook, and then leave it in the house, and you'll instruct the destination to be in Matilda's room. Or when we get back.
He gives a nod. I will have you roll a intelligence check here to see how accurate this information will be. But for the nature of this is basically just like, Carson, take notes for me, which is totally doable.
Straight intelligence check. It's a 9.
That's fine. That does not seem super bad. I just didn't want a critical failure. Like a 5 or below, and I was going to be like, excellent. We arrived at a 4 list. So you guys continue moving down the ticking path. This pathway lies heavy with ash that crunches underfoot. Each step that you take, you can hear that like tick, tick, tick. Pull your foot off the ground and the ticking stops.
Oh.
And with each step, you can hear that crunching, almost taking a ticking sound underneath your feet. And you reach a central opening, this large circular opening with trees at various different positions, but they are placed oddly, equidistant from each other around the outer edge of the forest pathway. A large stone sits in the center of this just rounded path.
Vincent
Does
will
it
perceive for danger first.
Go ahead and roll perception.
is it connected to the note that we got earlier at all?
As you look at this path, you mean the hint thing?
Yeah, 13-7.
Oh, from that, go ahead and roll investigation.
16.
And Vincent, as you glance around, you do hear the faintest bit of rustling in the distance, and you can see like puffs of ash lift up in the probably close to 1,000 feet off in the distance. You just see it raising, and you also see that leading to the north, not in your guys' direction. Where you are right now seems safe, but you sense danger on the horizon. And Matilda, with your investigation, you ascertain that that note does not have anything to do with this current location.
Okay.
Vincent's going to cast Minor Illusion and just make like a duplicate of himself, and he's going to keep casting it and make it kind of like stop motion walk towards where the stone is and see if anything happens.
It moves forward. Your feet do not interact with the ground underneath, but the Minor Illusion moves in and approaches the stone. Nothing.
Cool. He'll go to the edge of like, because it's basically, I picture like a trail and then a circular trail around it and then a stone in the center, right?
Yes. So you were sitting in this, like, there's the trees around you and a large circular outer area. There are trees placed equidistant around the outer edge, and there is the large stone in the center. As you all begin to move around, I would also say, Matilda, as you are investigating and looking about, looking for the answer to your riddle previously, you take note that the center of the area where you are currently standing, the trees match the standard clock. You can see that there are trees placed at where there would be 12, 1, 2, 3, etc.
Okay. Matilda notices that every time we take a step, it makes a ticking noise. If you put something under your foot, like say, I don't know, your jacket or a book, and you step on that instead of the ground, does that make a ticking noise happen, or does it stop it?
You attempt, but the ticking continues.
Okay.
And Killian, you raise your hand?
I was gonna say, on that same line of thinking, Killian has been hearing the ticking even though she's riding Bladebeak.
Yes.
What if we were like flying? Do you think that would
Well,
change the time?
oh, hello. Vincent was a bit ahead of you guys, so I'm assuming you just like walked up and started saying that. Are you talking about the ticking noise?
Yeah.
Is there
I'm just
particular
wondering
reason
if
you
you
want to get
were-
rid of it? Is it?
Well, I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe we're supposed to be traveling not on foot through here. Maybe
I like
that's
to make
why.
myself fly, but
I know. I'm just wondering.
Watch for a second, and I want everyone to watch very intently. If anything changes, Matilda's gonna take a few steps backwards and see if that changes anything in the center.
As you all begin to move away from the center of it, you still hear the ticking noises kind of gradually underneath your feet as they crunch. But the same situation. Like the world around you does not seem to reverse, and your footsteps continue with the ticking crunch.
What if we walked around the circle, either clockwise or counterclockwise?
I think we need to hold up here for a second. Maybe it's just me, but what is our objective here? We don't even know what we're supposed to.
We need to
Why-
get over the forest.
Well, isn't there a bridge? Can we?
Yes.
Should we be heading for that then?
Yes.
As you glance around in the immediate area, you just see this kind of like clearing, and then a dense, just the trees as far as you can see, like when the wind pours past them, the trees themselves are formed of this same ash. It's just a clump of ash in the shape of a gnarled tree. So like just interacting with them is enough to make them crumble as the bird did previously. But as you look around, it's just the area that you now are. As you turn around and see the pathway behind you, it's still there, but this looks like a dead end to you immediately. Selene's like, remembering something. You guys can go ahead and roll investigation with advantage for Selene.
A group investigation?
Just
just-
all individual.
Okay.
Advantage, you said?
Yes. Ooh. Wow, guys.
Yeah. How about? I mean, it's a dead end. So how about we just try a few things first? Because time is. before
I'm
the
totally
next
cool.
thing.
I just need to know what you guys are doing.
Well, we're
It
trying to
seemed
figure
like-
out what we need to do. Is sort of the problem.
Selene's like, right. Follow me. I think you're on the right track. She like reaches out towards the edge. She reaches the edge of the area and begins to examine through. As you are moving, you can feel the only thing different here for you now is the temperature. And as you go around the outer edge, one area is incredibly dry and incredibly uncomfortable. And as you reach the other side, on the right side, you feel frigid, cold, begin to
Oh, yeah.
bear down upon you.
Don't go that way.
To the south, you hear faintest bit of...
We don't hear anything, Adrian.
Oh, sorry.
It's
There's a
wind.
faint whistling sound of wind, as though wind is passing through some kind of open area, but you just see forest.
Wayward frost.
Don't go frost way.
Not that way.
Nope.
Could that be part of the investigation to know whether or not that makes sense, or?
As you... Selene's like, right. I think you're right. But also, you're off. I think we need to get lost.
Oh.
Let's go this way. She turns and points to... She's like, I remember being cold as fuck. do remember that. So it's probably this one.
Okay. All right.
You guys
Then
would
just,
be.
like, smirks at himself and then continues. He wanted to make a joke, but it was lost to time.
Oh.
Oh, there's the joke. More puns.
He's
As
gonna
you
touch the frost tree.
as you move in towards the area where those ashen trees stand, and you place your hand against it, it crumbles, and before it, just a cascade of ash falls. A massive cloud picks up around you guys, and it takes a good minute to settle.
Okay, Jojo. My hair is going to be far ruined if you keep this up.
As the ash settles, you look down the pathway and you see the ashen ground gives way to a solid, frozen path that leads out. You can feel the wind blowing at you, and the ash takes just this frigid feel. As it touches your skin, it scalds. Without
Well,
cold.
this is stupid. We got ready for heat, not for the cold. What the fuck? We got
What?
bad intel.
Oh, there's heat. Don't worry.
Hmm.
As Selene kind of shores up and begins to move forward, you all press
Uh,
into the frigid area.
No, Diaz. As soon as people start to go to walk forward, I need a couple of minutes then. I brought precautions in case of cold, but I didn't realize this was going to happen. He'll go over to Paka. Paka, can you pass me my winter clothing?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 long johns, big socks. There's one. Pulls out just about one piece at a time out of his massive pack.
You guys it'll just take a couple of minutes. It's
I
getting inside him.
untie the scarf that Vincent's mom made for me out of my hair, and I like throw it on properly.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I just wanted to mechanically say I put on those that I had purchased before. And we can continue.
Take out a big wizard hat.
Cuts right through the wind.
Yeah.
As you all begin to trudge forward. Killian, do you remain in your standard attire?
Yeah, Killian doesn't really dress for weather. She just always has generally like thin layers, but also like thick enough to just be comfortable most of the time. But she also hasn't spent like any time outside of the city, so.
If I notice
Leaving
you,
adventure.
if I notice you like shivering, Matilda will like stealthily try to hand you her scarf. So be like, here, take it. But we'll see.
We'll
Yeah,
see.
well, everyone got a scarf, but we'll see.
Everyone gets a scarf. As you all pack up and prepare yourselves, moving forward, the insulation that you guys have does seem to actually have some aid here. In that this kind of like, with your winter clothing in like on top of the insulation, Vincent, you can feel your heat like very comfortably staying within your body. Everybody else relying on what you have and the insulation does seem to be providing you some of your own body heat back to you. You guys did a fantastic job on creating this. And as Paka's kind of just fluttering forward up and down, and you all make path into the frigid blizzard that begins to cover you, and the camera remains within this central courtyard. You can hear the ticking sound continue as you leave. The camera pulls up, higher and higher and higher, before eventually it looks downward. At a clock, a stone in the center, akin to an eye staring back towards you.
Ah!
And as you
Oh,
leave,
no.
the stone sinks into the desert itself, as though to close said eye, and you hear,
Wait, so
In the
this is all
distance.
lore that we will know in canon, or?
you guys do hear footsteps
Uh-oh.
coming in towards you from the location that you had previously come from. And at that point, that'll be the end of this episode.
Oh man.
Until next time, thanks everyone for watching. And see you next time on the Dragon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.